Warning: the Dub Talk podcast may contain language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime throughout the course of this episode. Please proceed with caution in case we discuss a series you've yet to finish. Finally, the opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and do not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Enjoy the show.
This is a story about a mouse. A mouse that through thick and thin, years and years has been a bastion of its community. Once a resident of the quiet countryside, it has decided to take on a life-altering journey of its own, filled with risk and peril aplenty. It says goodbye to its family and friends to set forth to its brand new life. A land of opportunity where a mouse can be anything. The years go on, time takes its toll, the seasons change, as does the culture surrounding it. But the mouse has changed alongside with it. This podcast is not about that mouse. No, joining me today are my fellow lazy high school graduates mucking about, doing the best we can with not a cent to our fucking name. My name is Andrew, and joining me in my small studio apartment is Amon and Noah.
Hi.
Hello, dear my friend.
We return once again, many years later, older, wiser, hopefully smarter, but probably not, to talk about an author and a studio coming together after so many, many years. From Keiichi Arawi and Kyoto Animation. This is City, the animation.
Woohoo! I am hyped. Thank you so much for putting this together. And let me just say, I loved the part of this show that we just finished watching where the robot girl and the scientist girl play rock, paper, scissors.
No, okay. Noah, what was the main character of that show you were watching?
Yes. Well, there was what was it? There was a cat. It was I think the main character was a black cat with a red scarf around its neck, right?
No. Okay, how many episodes was the thing?
It was 2 core, 26 episode series that came out back in like 2011, I think. I'm definitely sure that was the show we're talking about today, right?
Mr. Noah Clue, I believe you have done more homework than you were supposed to, and also you did the assignment for the wrong class. I believe you are going to fail tonight's test.
Oh, what a shame.
Damn. Are you telling me we're not covering Nichijou again?
No.
Here's the thing.
No, the redo episodes were last year.
You're
2026 now.
Why didn't you tell me this? I've been spending all week. I wrote my doctorate thesis on it. I even adopted a talking crow just for this episode. Gosh darn it.
No.
Fuck.
See, what you should have done is gotten a creature that was both a cat and a rabbit at the same time.
And in our defense, the DM chat is called City the Podcast, so it feels like a pretty good sign.
Well, actually,
I was gonna say
saved here. I do have a half rabbit, half cat creature with a silver locket around its neck. Will that save me?
What's in the locket?
It's a photograph.
Uh-huh.
Does the photograph in question imbue pseudo-lesbian pining longing situationship?
Only in the sense that it also includes very idiotic people who you can't help but love watching their idiocy in the process.
Okay, I think we have an episode. Perfect.
All right.
Thank God.
All right.
Okay.
Go team.
So the fact that we are talking about an anime adaptation for City the animation is kind of nothing short of a miracle. So, Nichijou is a show that's near and dear to my heart. Even though the dub is, I want to say not, okay. The dub came out in like 2018, 2019, which I almost said that's not that long ago, but that's almost 7 years ago.
Yep.
So fuck me. No, but even longer than that is that the original Nichijou anime came out in 2011.
Now that was a long time ago.
14
years. No.
14 whole years later.
God, I was in college then.
Kyoto Animation reunited once again with the works of Keiichi Arawi, because it's pretty clear after Nichijou, even if like commercially it was not the hottest trendsetter in the world, those two teams really liked working with each other. And they decided to give it another go. So what is City about?
Boy, isn't that the $1 million question.
That is the $1 million question. But let's try. Let's go with what A&N's got and see if that's kind of correct.
No, hold on. I got the DVD here, so let me just read from the back of the... Oh, wait, no, I don't have the DVD in the back.
You got Nichijou.
No, I don't have a City DVD or Blu-ray because we don't have a copy of that yet.
We do live in the times where the shows we do like to talk about aren't guaranteed a home video release, which is sad and frustrating, but kind of you get used to it.
Right, and I'll let you get to the description in a second, but it is worth telling, like you were indicating, Nichijou was not a big seller when it first came out. Like, we look at it as like, oh, this is a great show. Everyone must have loved it at the time. But back in 2011, before streaming had really become monetized, you had to sell discs in order to give success in Japan. And Nichijou was not a hot seller. So the fact that the reputation has come around full circle to where people are clamoring for more of this collab, to the point that it has gotten picked up and created, is, again, nothing short of a minor miracle.
Frankly, it's also worth noting, what also kind of makes this one... Actually, let me get to my summary before we talk about this properly. Penniless college student Midori Nakamo lives in an ordinary city filled with not quite ordinary people. And as this reckless girl runs about, she sets the city in motion. Midori is in a bit of a bind. She's in debt, and her landlady is trying to shake her down for unpaid rent. Her best friend refuses to loan her cash, and she's wised up to her tricks. Maybe some bullying would help. Or a bit of petty theft. Neither is sustainable. Maybe getting a job would settle things. But working means less time for fun adventures in the big city.
That is a percentage of this show.
That is a percentage of this show, and it also feels like it's a little more diabolical at like what Midori Nagamo is as a character.
Like, let's be honest here. Midori is so inept, she couldn't steal or thief money. She couldn't catch a cold.
She did catch a thief, but the thief was actually the mayor.
Yeah.
So,
True, but he deserved it.
I will say the other thing that makes City the animation especially impressive that was brought to my attention. So, not only is it impressive that City the animation is Keiichi Arawi and KyoAni returning to work together once again, it is legitimately the first new Kyoto Animation TV anime IP since the arson attack.
And boy, did they hit the ground running.
Like, they made projects since, but those were like pre-existing like sequels and projects or things that were already greenlit to be worked on, like Maid Dragon Season 2 in the movie, Surene, and like Freeze continuous like final movies, EBK Euphonium. City is their first new IP they had done since that happened. And the more I look at what City is, the more I think about what it does, what it accomplishes in 13 episodes, puts on screen, it's kind of one of the most miraculous anime visual, like, what do I even call it?
It is a
Well,
love letter to the medium.
I would describe it as KyoAni, having dealt with what they've dealt with and coming out and deciding, hey, why don't we just stunt it on the rest of the industry for 13 straight weeks? What if we made everyone else look like a chump?
I think you're correct. I think there is legitimately a level of, like, does it seem crude to say that the entirety of Kyoto Anime just whipped their dick on the table just to show it to everybody who walked by? Yes. But also, baby, this is the Dub Talk podcast. And if we're going to have these artistic discussions, we're going to also have these crude jokes. So yes, the very sequence of Wako Izumi pulling on the thread of pocket lint is literally just me watching the screen going, how the fuck? How the fuck did an animator do that?
I like how you don't even have to wait. You don't even have to wait that long. You just get to the end of the fucking bird story. And they have that crane shot down out of the clouds where, like, the rain stops and then starts up again. And it's like, this is a cartoon. How are you doing this? How long did it take you to animate this?
And you may even think that, oh, sure, the first episodes are like the higher end productions when they have all the money, but it's not going to stay that good throughout. But no, you go through the second episode with the soccer team going through all the ways to save Sasugo. You go through episode 3 where there's two characters trying to create a patent for kindness and the quality still stays that good. You go through episode 5, which I know these guys have words on, and you watch the crazy multi-frame angles going on, and you're like, when are they going to stop flexing? This is amazing.
I do not think there is a moment this show ever stops flexing. I feel like this is... the fact in the modern day animation, like, sphere, like, things are rough. Times are tough. The industry has changed in dire ways. There are some things that are unfortunate. There are some things that are kind of shitty, both in the animation industry, in the anime industry, in the dubbing industry, in the anime licensing industry. Fuck, we're talking about an anime dub that's exclusive on Amazon Prime, which we're not even going to get into that. There isn't enough time in the world, but I don't want to focus on the dystopian fact that I'm watching City the Animation, a brand new Kyo anime Keiichi Arari joint, on Bezos' fucking platform, where in between these gorgeously animated episodes where I feel joy and a will to live, I get an ad break for fucking, like, I don't know, pretzels and Melania Trump's shitty movie. I want to talk about just the sheer joy that City is, as well as getting to talk about the anime and its English dub. So, let's talk about the anime of City and its English dub. Starting us off with our ADR directors and script writers for this show. So, directing this dub is interesting. So, we got a 3-team directing this dub. Chris Fiella, Brooke Chalmers, and Brenna Larson. And writing the dub, doing the odd-numbered episodes of City is one Marin Miller, and the even-numbered episodes of City is Rachel Robinson. I believe this is done at a studio called Deluxe Media, which is an interesting one to talk about. But this team is interesting for a few reasons. So, Chris Fiella does not typically direct anime. He has directed a number of video games, though, which includes The Somnium Files, Death End Request, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and is the main director of Genshin Impact. Brooke Chalmers has also directed some anime titles such as Eden Zero, Wand Dance, Neza 2, and is the other main director of Genshin Impact. Brenna Larson
Names before.
Brenna Larson has also directed on some projects, notably some animation stuff, notably Rainbow High, LOL House of Surprises, and a couple of Bratz shows and games, including Bratz Flaunt Your Fashion.
AKA the American anime.
The American anime Bratz, yes. A couple of anime titles Marin has written for include Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid, the first season of the new Ranma 1/2 series, Kakegurui Twin, and Code Geass Rose of the Recapture. Rachel Robinson has written for titles such as Skip Beat, Convenience Store Boyfriends, the Netflix dub of Kakegurui Compulsive Gambler, and of course, because it's me, Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun.
Of course you were going to put that one in there.
Mm-hmm. Literally was the first thing that came to mind as soon as I saw Rachel Robinson mentioned. Okay. So, this is an interesting dub to talk about. Because of the fact that it is like a dub that is exclusive on Prime and all that. I literally was not sure what we were going to get. Because Prime's basically just kind of works with a whole bunch of different studios. Quality kind of sort of all over the place depending on where they go to.
Mm-hmm. Like they haven't just done anime dubs. Me and Jen have dug into some of their entries for like Spanish original programming, live action stuff, and they've like put up English dubs for that. Like obviously the mouth laps don't fit kind of thing. But yeah, they cover a wide range of things. Anime is not just the only thing they do.
Oh, for sure. But as of the past year or so, the Prime 2.0 anime thing has been going on. I know the state of it. I'm not going to make a whole controversial point about my feelings of the Bezos machine as it is in general. I'm just going to say the dub as it exists was paid for to be on their platform and in multiple languages. And I want to talk about the English dub. Because I think this is an interesting dub to talk about.
I mean, can we just give gratitude that this is the show that is available with a basic Prime subscription and does not require an additional add-on to view it?
I want you to know, I do not think the children even remember what Anime Strike was.
No, they probably do not.
The adults barely remember what Anime Strike was.
The adults barely remember. The legacy of Anime Stripe. Oh my god. Anime Strike? Fuck. I don't even care about its name. Shit. Anyways. Its legacy is when 7 Seas put out the first print run of Made in Abyss's first volume. It was branded with Watch the hit anime on Anime Strike. And that's probably really hard to find now.
It was only on the first printing. I did get a copy for not much higher than a cover price for the lulz. So you can get it, but you got to make sure it's the right one.
Okay, so you did stumble across that in the wild, and you're like, oh, that's fun.
No, I bought it on eBay with the intention of having it because of a weirdo.
That's his story right there. Like, oh, this is going to be in a museum someday.
It's like I if it has not become clear to you over the past 10 years, audience, I'm absolutely the sort of person who will go buy something because the logo of a failed streaming service on it because I'm insane and nothing about my brain works well.
Amon's the kind who went out and bought a copy of LaGrange just because it promoted Neon Alley streaming service.
Oh my god, Neon Alley.
Look, I'm just saying, when my college was getting rid of its Laserdisc players, did I take one? No, I took 2. What if one of them breaks? I got a spare.
We totally got...
Okay, I gotta ask, were they 2 different ones, or was it the same one twice?
No, they were 2 different models of Laserdisc.
Absolutely.
I think, yeah, and I'm pretty sure I took 2. I could be mistaken. I don't recall, but I definitely thought about taking 2 at the very least.
We love you, buddy. That's oh my goodness.
But yeah, so the dub for this is just to break the ice on this. Very good. Like, I don't think that if they had put this on Crunchyroll or Hulu or Disney Plus, that you would have necessarily pegged it as, oh, that's definitely from anime, or that's not from Amazon. You would have been like, oh, this is a high quality dub, and I can't tell the difference that it was dubbed somewhere that I don't usually watch anime on.
I'll say I was having this sort of. I will say there is a unique frustration of wanting to talk about a show that gives me hope, joy, and optimism, but I can't pretend that little pit of cynicism isn't there even slightly when I think about the fact this would not be dubbed if it was picked up by Crunchyroll in the year 2025.
You don't think
Probably
so?
not.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's just because of. Okay, I understand that Crunchyroll's track record in the last couple of years for what they choose to dub has not been the best, especially because they seem to be putting more emphasis on the things they co-produce rather than things that are popular. But I want to have optimism that if this was, that the longevity of, it's the re-collab between KyoAni and the Nichijou guy would have been at least enough to push it towards the top. I say very naively. So, but you're saying that you don't think that would have happened?
Noah, I would like the record to come out that we do not even know if they are going to dub the feature film of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid that came out this year.
I can't argue against you because I know in my sad, shriveled heart that that's true, that there's not a guarantee of that. Despite Dragon Maid being one of the more beloved series that have come out in the 2010s.
So, yes, that is the point I want to mention. I'm not going to harp on it too much because I find this an interesting dub in that the team working on this, are not people that I think regularly do anime. I know Marin and Rachel have absolutely, they are professional when it comes to, anime scripting, and absolutely, I want to give Marin and Rachel especially, the props first, because, obviously, Nichijou as a dub was not an impossible dub that the rumor mill was circulating over the years. But I feel going through City the Animation, especially also going through it with, the closed captions, because they were not proper closed captions, it was the subtitle track alongside the dub, so you could compare. And I think there's a lot
more services did that.
And I think there's a real art and, genuinely getting to see the active, conscious choices of localizing some stuff to be a little more understandable and digestible to, the North American audience that is probably going to be consuming the English dub.
They were not going to do the ADV Sentai film thing of having characters say the line untranslated and then have a pop-up note of, and this is what that word means.
Obviously not all of them could be, as that, but I know there was very direct ones where it's I think when they're okay, I don't 100% know this, but I feel like when they're talking about the horses with the weird long names, I think they were doing, the Rakugo Jugamu thing with the kid who's got the really, really, really long name. And I remember the choice they made for that was going for Super Frala they were trying to do the Super Frala Cadulistic Expiali for the horse names instead. And I'm like, that was a fun choice. I know in the Quiz King episode, there was specifically, a very Japanese idiom that they changed for the much more understandable one in the hole, two in the bush or something.
This dub is not wall-to-wall Japanese references that need to be translated. They do pop up a couple of times in each episode. You mentioned some good ones. And some of them you may not even know were supposed to be originally. There's a bit in episode 6 where Nikura is being whacked with soccer balls by the soccer team, and they in the subtitles they start talking about like the limits of Buddha, but whereas in the dub they don't. They're just talking about like the 3 rules of forgiveness or the 3 strikes rule as it pertains
like
to
the
both
3
sports
strikes
and
in regards
forgiveness.
to sports, yes. And they
Yeah,
were talking about
So,
the things of Buddha, and I think the 3 strikes thing worked a lot better.
I agree. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you that the decisions that were made here, for the most part, pretty well translated the idea of what was in the original without needing to have it, like I said, pop up text translated there. And obviously, it was a very intentional choice.
There's very intentional choices, but I also do think those changes are not distracting in a way that like change the scene. Like absolutely that like they talk about Bart Simpson and I'm like, that's a valid choice.
All right. So I was like, I remember seeing that in the dub and like, what was that? Because full disclosure, I had seen this show last year and I did a rewatch for this show, more intentionally looking for references like that. So you in the audience may be thinking, did they reference Bart Simpson when talking about the character wearing the same t-shirt every day? No, they did not in the Japanese. In the original Japanese, it was just, what are you, a comic strip character or a manga character? So they didn't have a specific call out, but calling it Bart Simpson, who does wear the same outfit in every episode, gets the same point across.
Jesus. As an aside, also just, like, there's some choice fun lines in there, too. I love the fact that, it was episode 1, I remember. So shout out to Marin, especially, for the choice, delightful line, yeet of refusal.
What's great about things like that is sometimes those lines come so fast and quick that you may not even notice them upon first watch. And so you get more joy out of it upon like a second watch because like, oh, there's lines in there that I didn't even catch the first time.
But like they're so clever and they're so fun and like there is a lot of art into the script adaptation of this dub as anything, and I really think Marin and Rachel especially deserve a lot of credit for that particular element. Especially sometimes it's not even references. Sometimes it's just dumb wordplay like, I made a loaf decision, not a life decision.
That one's so good.
You're like, this scene can't possibly get any better, and then they did.
God. It's so incredible. But also, like, legit shout-outs to Chris, Brooke, and Brenna, where, like, majority of them have done some anime. Like, Brooke is the only one that I think has really done anime dubbing. Brenna and Chris, I believe this was, like, their first foray into that. And this is not what I would call a not exactly easy one to do. Because it's a ginormous ensemble cast that moves fast, never, like, talks fast, and is as much about slapstick as it is reference humor that is hyper-specific, as much as it's also about very funny noises. Like, there is as much fast reference humor as there is just, like, a scene of 2 men huffing and, like, on the verge of tears making funny noises.
This is our final episode. our final issue of Bummer Man.
Oh, God. But, no, there is incredible line deliveries. There is just... I would say the thing that makes City work is that... I was having a conversation about City as a work, because I feel like, you are saying this is the successor to Nichijou, and you are correct, and also wrong.
How is that possible?
You are correct in that a lot of what is great and what I love about Nichijou is there in Nichijou. But I feel City... There's a lot more heart in the normalcy, the quietness, and the community. More so than I think was in Nichijou, if that makes sense.
Well, the best way to encapsulate that, and you are right about it, is just to compare the openings between the two. Nichijou's opening is a fast-paced, goofy, kids waffling around in a white void, goofy song with one singer playing both the male and the female parts. and then contrast with the city opening, which is a more heartfelt, triumphant, emotional song about dancing after the rain.
I did not like the song at first, but it grew on me so much. So really, shout out to Riho Furui, because Hello is delightful. It is warm. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like a song of singing after the rain has. That's a very good. That is what City is, isn't it? It's about taking joy in the little things. Despite still being a very goofy little show that has absurd scenarios, absurd gags, and there is just a whole underground society of cryptids in the city that are just kind of hanging around.
I think part of what you're getting at is that compared to Nichijou, not that Nichijou is limited per se, but like the setting is very specific. It's mostly in a high school. It's mostly about people who are either students there and a couple of the teachers. It's very, it is very focused with occasional flirtations into Helvetica Standard Land, which is, complete nonsense. But still relatively focused even in that regard. City is basically about just whatever you want it to be. It's like I even remember this when I started reading the manga when it came out in English. Like, it felt so much more expanded in comparison in terms of almost he was like, Nichijou, the scope was too focused. I want to be able to do anything. I want to be able to run with any stupid idea.
I was gonna say, the main characters are 20 somethings after school, but they are not the only characters really. It is as much a story about these high school girls that are trying to figure it out, as much as it is just about the old men that are trying to enjoy summer break and get drunk, as much as it is just about that guy who gives people haircuts and tries to act like a bad guy, but also is just fixing up the town, and he's like, yeah, I'm such a bad guy. As much as it is just about, I don't fucking know, Mimi Neko? Oh,
Mimi Neko.
And also just the guy who has his own little acting troupe with just a bunch of little animals.
Anime Scott Pilgrim, my favorite guy.
There's literally an anime Scott Pilgrim. That doesn't quite work.
Yeah, but he looks like anime Scott Pilgrim. The anime Scott Pilgrim and the Scott Pilgrim anime just looks like regular Scott Pilgrim.
I believe this man has a healthier relationship with women because I do not believe he is getting laid.
Probably not.
He's too busy laying down amazing rhymes in a theater to worry.
Which, as an aside, I feel like the specific type of theater is not conveyed, but there's a lot of work that goes into the rhyme scheme. It's what it's effectively doing theatrical retellings of the story of Momotaro.
I mean, we've seen, every other version of it that you can think of. It's you got to do something really special to make it unique for an audience.
God. But no, that in itself is also impressive what Marin and Rachel did with the Takari Dake troops performances. There's only 2 of them, but they're impressive as hell when they do it.
Oh, yeah.
I think, I do want to talk about, more about the characters in the show, and there's only so much we can talk about. I won't say, there's a weakness to that, this is a much smaller cast compared to something like okay, let me clarify. This is a large cast, but also the cast, there's definitely a lot of, repeats in, who plays some of the smaller roles. But I do think they do a strong enough job making it compelling and conveying who's different and who sounds different throughout the show.
And it also helps that the choice was very clearly made to not give the human characters, or really any of the characters, very cartoonish voices. There's one or two, like the scene in the tower episode where like the pop-up character is like explaining, and this is a 2-story tower where if you start at the top and you go down, you have to meet all of the different obstacles. Like that is a one-off thing, but for the most part, the characters have a range of believable young adult voices or even regular adult voices
And then,
that contrast off each other pretty
and
well.
then there's just the one-off baker who sounds like Kermit, and then there's just, what was it? The Tsuchinoko, who in the episode...
Oh, she got a Fargo accent. She talks like Frances McDermott in that movie.
I don't know why the Tsuchinoko sounds like Fargo, but fuck it, it's funny.
And, well, Andrew, she sounds like that because it's funny, that's why.
Also, like,
That answers the question.
there's a lot of great designs, but Ahmad, I think you are correct in that is, like, the most perfect anime Tsuchinoko I've ever seen.
Look at him. Look, we're going to put him on screen here. Look at him.
Look at the friend.
He's so
it's
good.
so friend-shaped. It's so friend-shaped, and I love that little creature. I love that friend. They literally take a
If they made a
picture.
plush of this, I
They
would
literally
one.
take a picture of her eating like a fucking horned beetle or something, and I'm like, "Aw, she's hungry."
That's a gag that KyoAni carried over from Dragon Maid.
Christ. But no, this
Bless.
is a delightful series. I'm impressed that this dub works as well as it did, because for like a lot of like first time like directors on this one, this is not exactly the easiest thing to start out with. And I'm kind of impressed that this is as funny and as strong as it is, and I really do think a lot of credit for what makes this dub work, in my mind, is a lot of the work both Marin and Rachel put into this, because hell, that is not easy. Alright.
No.
I had to make a lot of executive choices about who we were going.
Oh, before we go, I did have one final thing to say about the
Hit me.
writing. Well, not so just to be clear. So since I wanted to look this up, but I think I got the answer for me. It's Mambo number 5 in every language, right?
It is Mambo.
Let's not mention the English.
It is
let's not
Mambo
mention
number
the dub.
5 in every language. I literally posted the video where somebody did the Mambo's
Put it
number
all
5
together.
in 9 languages.
9 different versions.
I just wanted to super make sure that's literally true and not just like an invention of the
No,
dub.
that it's
That's
Mambo
great.
number
What a
5 in
beautiful show.
everything. No, that's too specific a reference to try and do in multiple languages.
It might also be a
See-
copyright. Well, I don't know if a copyright thing. If
I mean, they literally buy the
Well,
rights
I mean,
to do
they're
Mambo
very
number
clearly-
5 for real.
I will say they're very clearly not singing actual Mambo number 5. They're just doing like a Mambo-y thing.
And then,
that
like,
sounds
they play
it.
the actual
Yeah.
Mambo number 5 at the end for the credits. Which, as an aside, it is worth remembering that, like, 14 years ago in Nichicho, for the sake of a gag, they paid for the official, like, FIFA soccer license for that sequence where they're doing, like, the paper soccer thing. Paper football thing.
Oh, the Soccer Go,
Yes.
Go Soccer.
They even apparently paid for, like, The King and I for that incredible first episode where they accidentally, like, fucking splash him with the wine and, like, drop crispy noodles in the back. Which, as an aside, we do not know the voice of the good person or the nice guy. I'm pretty sure I know the actor playing him, but I do not have the credit confirmed, so we will not be officially talking about the nice guy or the good person, who is a very nice guy and makes very cursed pottery.
Oh yeah.
But
If you know,
as,
you know.
as who we are going to be talking about, we are going to be talking about Riho Izumi, Sumire Sakurakomi Tanabe, her butler Hotaka, Tatada Adatara, editor Todoroki, Kamaboko Oni, and Nobuteru Takaredake.
You wrote that wrong. It's anime Scott Pilgrim.
And you shut your whore mouth. Okay. So, Riho Izumi is the eepiest girl who's ever been alive. She is eepy and sleepy, and she is just a little guy.
And
also,
just aged like 10 years trying to use the word EP in a podcast.
All right, how about you suck my dick? Anyways, Rico's adorable. She's so adorable that, like, she gives somebody the affectionate, sleepy heart eyes, and everybody falls in love with her. So hard in love that it is just arrows through the heart.
My favorite example of that is when what's his name is trying to ask her out on a date, and the
you're talking about Tatewaku.
Tatewaku. The policeman gets hit with it, and then when it cuts back to it, this old man who is hanging out there has also gotten it, but he didn't even get his own special animation. He's just dead on the ground having been shot with this hard arrow. Great comedy.
I think the craziest thing to me is, like, they show the policeman who clearly is crushing, like, hard on her sister, which, like, fair, but also, like, literally getting hit with so many arrows that he's taking it like a champ, but then he gets hit with, like, the one really powerful one, he gets sent off into space. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude can tank that. There is also, Sumire Tanabe, who is this rich lady, very cute little rich lady, who's been crushing on this soccer boy for like 18 plus years, and is kind of trying to figure out how to make a move, but is a little clueless, but she's you're rooting for her. I love her. She's very... When the guillotines come, she will be spared.
Or at the very least, he'll be crying Wesley Snipes about it.
The guillotines come, she will be spared. A, because nobody will want to, and B, because Hotaka will fucking kill them if they try.
Fair point.
Hotaka is her butler, who is a good boy, and also just one hell of a butler. Just one hell of a butler. Straight up, outright. Tatsuda Adatara is a former soccer star turned worker for his family's liquor store. You see all of the Adataras. We don't have a lot of room to talk about more, but we will be talking about Ryota Adatara in passing, and I will tell you why in a specific sense in a second. Editor Todoroki and his author Kamaboko Oni. It's a mangaka and an editor. You can tell this is very much Keiichi Arawi talking about being a mangaka and the struggles that comes with it. It's very funny. And also I love that Oni just looks like a fucking Otsumatsu-san character. He looks like an Otsumatsu-san character, or like straight up like a Fujiko... the author of Doraemon. He looks very Doraemon.
One of those 60s guys whose name starts with an F. One of those.
One of those guys.
Thought he was going for a Tezuka look with the hat.
I mean, well, manga artists just wear berets. That's Tezuka's fault.
Look, they either wear berets, smoke a shitload of cigarettes, or both.
And the mangaka author from Kakeshi, the one about the guy who's raising his
Kakushi
daughter.
Goto.
Thank you. Doesn't do either of those.
No,
That's why he's having such a hard time.
He just draws pervy manga, and he's trying to make sure his daughter doesn't know. Anyways. Alright, playing these characters, Riko Izumi is played by Shelby Young. Sumire is played by Caitlin Robrock. Hotaka is played by Brian Hull. Tatsuda Adatara is played by Ryan Colt Levy. Editor Todoroki is Andrew Russell. Kamaboko Oni is Max Middleman. And, I forgot. Nobuteru Takari Dake. He is the leader of the Takari Dake troupe alongside his furry friends. He has no money, but he has a passion for art. Is played by one AJ Lacasia.
To those listening, when Andrew said his furry friends, he means literal animals. He does not mean friends who are furries. That's a key distinction to make in this time and age.
This is true.
There is a key distinction, because his animal friends are... They're drama students, and they're not in STEM research. That's how you know they're not
Right.
real furries.
Actual furries make a shit ton in STEM research and are powering your modern society.
And these furries are bum-ass fucking drama kids that don't have a sense of their
the
name.
best names. Like what was it? It was like
Are you talking about Hell Monkey, Hedgehog?
Quackly,
Yeah.
Hedgestir, and the best one, Mr. Squeak.
All right,
Mr.
Squeak. Yeah, fucking yeah. God. So, all right, where do we start? So Riho Izumi, not only is she Riho Izumi, Shelby Rung also plays Mrs. Adatara in the Adatara family, but you would also know her as Daria Romanova Chernova in your forma, Madame Anjanawali's in the new Rosa Versailles movie, K344 in the Star Wars Visions anthology episode Tatooine Rhapsody, and Rie. This one's for you, Amon. Shelby Young is Rie in Tatsuki Fujimoto 17 to 26 anthology episode Woke Up as a Girl Syndrome.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. So, Brian Hole, who plays Butler Hotaka, plays a bunch of characters in the show, actually, including, but not limited to, Mr. Adatara, the Quiz King, and Ryota Adatara, which means, fuck you, motherfuckers, I just threw in an 8th character. It's Ryota Adatara, who is also Brian Hall. We're talking about Ryota Adatara, because he's the fucking man, the myth, the legend himself.
Really? That's amazing.
Yes. I also feel it's fun to mention, as far as other credits to go, you want to know what else Brian Hole has done?
Hit me.
Did you know Brian Hole is the official voice match of Adam Sandler for Dracula in the Hotel Transylvania franchise, specifically playing him in Hotel Transylvania's 4th movie, Transformania.
I've seen his name somewhere.
Huh.
Thank you for reminding me, Andrew.
This is his very first anime.
At a darn good way to start.
Caitlin Robrock plays several characters also in City of the Animation, including Sora and Umi Adatara, and Granny, the landlady who is bullying the shit out of Midori Nagamo, and also just might be a straight up like Akuma level threat.
What a contrast.
Yeah.
She also plays Agretzko's mother in Agretzko, Ott in Ubel Blatt, and Kazuma Genba in The Elusive Samurai. I'm also pretty sure, I think she is the modern-day voice of Minnie in the Disney verse?
There's been a couple of different ones. It's not like in the old days when Russie Taylor did the voice for everything, but let me double-check on that.
I believe she is the modern voice. Anyways, Ryan Colt Levy plays a couple of characters in the show as well, I believe, but is credited as Goro Kurube, which I had a hard time trying to figure out who the hell Goro Kurube is. I think he is the announcer, specifically for like when they're doing like the horse betting episode. I think that's who Goro Kurube is. I'm not 100% sure. As far as what else Ryan Colt Levy has done, he's played Jazz M. Andro in Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, both Kazushi Tatsuishi and Arata Tsuruki in My Happy Marriage, and a little upstart by the name of Denji Chainsaw Man.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he plays that guy. He seems to be doing all right.
Not sure if anyone in this call has seen Chainsaw Man, though.
Somebody. I'm sure somebody out there has.
Sounds like a series that would get canceled in 19 chapters or less to me.
That's not going to last. Absolutely. No future for that one.
So, Editor Todoroki is played by Andrew Russell, who plays Oda Inagami in Mission Yozakura Family, Kyoki Saiko in Witch Watch, Akira Otoishi in JoJo's Diamond is Unbreakable, and Genta Kojima, which is one of the kids in the Detective Conan squad in a bunch of the Bang Zoom film dubs of Detective Conan. He's played that kid in Conan's Child Squad in a bunch of those movies.
All right.
Also, just because I have nowhere else to post this, I discovered he has a typecast for playing punk and punk rockers.
You gotta post
Fascinating.
the...
I didn't really know what to do with this. It's like he plays Akira Otoishi, who's an evil rocker in Diamond is Unbreakable. He plays a guy with a mohawk in a star in One Punch Man 2. He plays a guy literally named Punk who looks like a punk rocker in Mob Psycho. And literally in Fate Strange Fate, which I've been watching, he plays this pharmacy guy who is in a punk rock band and like bonds with the main character, Saber, by like showing him his punk rock band and playing music
He
with
also
him.
plays the punk rock character Luca in Miraculous Ladybug.
I also learned that. Apparently he is just an actual like rock music guy, and he's just cast as a bunch of rock music guys, and I never pieced that together until now. So that's really funny. Anyways, he's playing Todoroki alongside Kamaboko Oki, who is Max Middleman, who also plays a bunch of characters. He plays a couple of characters in the show. He notably plays Rindo Obina, the captain of the middle school soccer team, alongside Tate Waku. But he also is Hikari Sakishima in A Lull in the Sea, Ritsu Kakiyama in Mob Psycho 100, Saitama in One Punch Man, and because I mentioned he looks like a fucking Mr. Osumatsu character, he plays Todomatsu in the Mr. Osumatsu dub.
There you go.
And A.J. Locasio. He's played characters such as Eiji Arashiba in Scar on the Praetor, Kohaku Shirane in Medalist, Domas in Ranking of Kings, and is effectively the new modern-day voice of Gambit, a.k.a. Remy LeBeau, in both X-Men 97 and the very successful Marvel Rivals.
So he's set for life right now.
Certainly once
He's doing all right
Disney
for himself.
brings the X-Men into the expanded Marvel universe, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So let's pair off. Let's just do very quickly a couple of characters that I think are probably going to go very fast. Tatsuda Adatara, he's a very good boy. He's a very good soccer boy, and I love him with his fail girl crush, who I learned about his girl crush first on my rewatch of episode 5, because there's a blink and you miss it moment where like he's delivering booze to her mansion, and she kind of like fucking like turns to stone because she's so shy around him.
About that, because it's like, yeah, you blink, you miss it, and all of a sudden there's one of the 50 squares on screen, and she's turned to stone. And I'm like, I missed something there, but this is going too fast. I can't rewind it to find out what's going on.
Yeah, no, like I did 3 or 4 watches of that whole thing just to get it, just to kind of encapsulate all of it. City is kind of like, how do I describe this? City is the kind of anime adaptation cowards are afraid of. What do I mean by that? City the animation is the kind of series that is not afraid to just speed through like an entire volume's worth of chapters for the sake of a really specific gag.
For those of you at home who are in trouble figuring out, remember what we're talking about, there is a bit in this episode where it starts as a split screen of 2 things happening and eventually increases to, I think, 7 or 8 independently moving, like, panels showing you what is happening with certain sets of characters.
I think they mentioned, like, behind the scenes, that is, they did, like, double the amount of hand-drawn animation you would do for a half-hour TV animation than most people normally would.
The best square of that split screen is just like, I think it's like 3 solid minutes of Nikura just running towards the tower.
Yep.
Oh, there's so much. They're also just doing like Dragon Quest references as they're clearing the tower. And I realized
Yep.
on this rewatch that the Tower of Hospitality is a fucking shonen parody arc.
Of course it is.
I literally didn't even realize upon this rewatch it's a fucking shonen parody arc. Like, it's a fucking, Yu Yu Hakusho scaling the tower, climbing the tower. Like, it's very Togashi.
Everybody wants to do Game of Death, and it's their turn now to do it.
Don't they?
But
don't they
yeah,
do a
no, that
that also in the episode where the soccer team is talking to Nikura and they like do a pose of like video game trope characters.
Maybe. As an aside, another thing that this adaptation does is what I can only describe genuinely one of the funniest bits that really got me, which I had to make sure on my rewatch that I thought that that Amazon will want to skip that, but the end of episode 10 is maybe one of the most incredible bits of anything I've ever seen. Where they're doing the next time on preview thing. And it's like a perfect recreation of what the next time on of an ongoing show is. They have like the instrumental of the OP playing. Hey, I'm Tatewaku. What's going on? Riho Izumi rejected me. Oh no, whatever am I going to do? What's gonna happen? Tune in next week. Hey guys, we're on an island and we're stranded by ourselves. It's just, that is apparently just a whole volume's worth of stuff that they just speed through in like a minute and a half for the next episode on bits.
That's a good gag when anime do that well, especially they usually reserve that for like their very last episode when there's not going to be a next episode. They're like, here's the preview for the next episode, and it's like the craziest stuff like fire dragon robots flying or totally uncensored beach scene. Like that's usually where they reserve it. And so the fact they did that in episode 10 is, again, proof that this is a show made by madmen.
Christ. As an aside, I can't believe they just did that whole arc as that bit, and it's like, it's the kind of thing you know would piss off a fan or like piss fans off, but they did it because it would be funny. And because they figured why the hell not. And that's what I love about this adaptation, because there is so much mutual love between the author's work and the author loving the people that work at the studio, that there is just a level of like letting each other play, letting each other cook in a way that like genuinely people would be too afraid to do.
No. I mean, I don't know about afraid, but like you just know the economics of the anime industry. Like we mentioned before that, you know, times are tough for anime studios. It's not that they wouldn't want to do it. It's just that, look, we have to get product out on time, on schedule.
Okay, let me clarify what I mean by too afraid. I mean, there are people that bitch about new episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen now because there's too much creative visual animation going on, and they're like taking some liberties with the visual source and adaptation.
You're referring to those people who got mad about that one My Hero trailer because Todoroki or somebody's head is facing in like a slightly different direction compared to the same panel in the manga.
Yes, those people. I'm talking about those. Literally motherfuckers complaining about the sky being too blue. Anyways, like there is that modern fan entitlement now that like you worry companies see that and get too afraid and don't take as many liberties with an manga adaptation as you would do. And then there's just the KyoAni team that's like, I'm just going to do this whole arc as a gag at the end of an episode. Fuck you. I adore that. I adore that.
We decided we are going to remake the same episode 8 times in a row, and you are going to watch it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
God bless.
But... Anyway.
I will say they are benefiting from the fact that the kind of people who do that thing have absolutely never read City. They think it is boring and slow, and that is why they will not survive their winter.
Damn right. Anyways, to kind of bring this back, I really like Ryan Colt Levy as the Adatara himbo boy who's doing his best.
He is not
I really like
himbo.
Caitlin as...
Look,
Okay.
we have had on this
Okay.
very podcast long discussions about what constitutes a himbo. He is not triangular shaped enough, and he is not dumb enough to be in that category. I'm sorry. Hot, dumb, kind. He's kind. You can't be a himbo without the art, too.
Okay. He's hot. We know he's hot, and we know he's kind. We don't know if he's dumb. So he's just a good...
He's a
okay,
good
hang on.
mouse.
Where's the fucking chart? I know what you're talking about. Hot, kind, and dumb himbo web. I need to look this up. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, this is what it is. A himbo must be kind, beefy, and stupid. Only kind and beefy, that's just a hunk. Okay, so Tatsuda Anatara is not a himbo, he is a hunk.
He's
Is
not.
he beefy? Is anyone in the show beefy?
I'm sorry, but
I would say he's reasonably
I think
beefy.
he's just
he
a
makes
nice
good
boy,
coffee, and he
Andrew.
makes
It's
good paper
okay.
airplanes, okay? But he's not beefy under that school uniform.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
All
but yes,
right, fine.
Brian is a
Fine.
good older brother voice. Like, we'll give him that, definitely. And, yeah,
Yes.
Like, there's very reluctant, like, I'm not gonna do anything for you snot-nosed kids. Does it anyway, because he loves
Yep.
them.
Yeah, that's just a good brother.
Like, yeah, that's just a good, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. And yeah, the rich girl, she's cute, she's sweet, she's very bad at this, but she is on cloud 9, she is getting princess carried throughout that entire race, and she is just having the time of her life. I love that for her.
Oh, yeah.
Just passes out mid-race. And then, I guess also we could throw in Riho Izumi, because you're correct. There's not a lot we can talk about her, but she is really cute. She is eepy. She is doing her best. She likes her little
I will
robots.
just very quickly say on Riku, is about Shelby's performance, is something that we've talked about before, which is it's very easy to make a tired or monotone-ish kind of character sound bad, because you lose the motivation to make them sound engaging. But Shelby does not do that. Like, for the lines that she has and for the sleepy sounds that she has to make, she does them all very well. It's like in character with the animation, and it gets across the kind of heartwarming female voice that would make all of the other characters around her be like, my heart. So that's what I want to give Shelby credit for.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But, yeah, I do genuinely think it's a very fun character and performance. Like, she's very... I love also the fact that, like, there is an entire class of dumbass kids...
Class 3.
...that, like, are trying to do their best to support Riho Izumi. And they're all so fucking stupid.
Well, to be fair...
So, there is a great bit that, like, they are in the middle of a test, and everybody's just kind of whispering kind of like this. And, like, there's a whole thing where they're like, she can just copy my answers.
No.
Tatewaku, you fool! And then they do the fake punch, the fake quiet punch. And, like, they're all trying to figure it out to make sure the teacher doesn't notice. It's like, you can do it. That's our Anatara. We gotta do our part, you guys.
Oh, the teacher.
All right, test is over. Pencils down. Yay! Actually, on second thought, summer makeup lessons, all of you.
Yeah. It's okay. We're all in this together.
God. Fucking incredible bit. But yes, so yes, I like the lady, the rich lady. I think Caitlin does a good job making her sound very sweet and oh my god. She does in fact sound a little bit like a Minnie Mouse type the more I think about it.
I wasn't really hearing that so much. Then again, I'd forgotten that she was the new voice of Minnie Mouse. I was hearing more of like an almost fake British accent. Like, the way that she delivers the vowels and the consonants is, like, I guess prim would be the proper word to use for it, but it's like...
I would say that's
it's
fair.
like, she's soft, but she's forceful at the same time. It's like, she will get her way.
Oh, God. And she's also very much enabled by her boy Hotaka, which is where we talk about Hotaka, and then we talk about the actual fucking best boy MVP, Ryota Adatara, because I just slipped him in under the radar because they're both Brian Hull, fuck you, fight me.
I wouldn't dare fight you. You gotta, I mean, look, Stephanie would kick my ass, and if she knew that I beat up her boyfriend, then she would be absolutely devastated, and then I'd be in the hospital, so we can't do that.
But yes, I like the old man trying to, like, do his best for his lady, but also being very, like, what if Alfred was a little bit of a silly guy?
I mean, Alfred is a little bit silly, depending on which version of Batman you watch.
Hotaka? What's that? That would be a squid, milady.
It's not the best blonde-haired girl with overbearing butler archetype I've ever seen. That honor still goes to Cats Don't Dance. But this is a pretty close second in the fact that they work off each other very well.
God. But, yeah, I do think, like, Brian has incredible comedic range as, like, the serious butler doing his best, but also being able to kick ass. And literally... Okay, so there's an insane thing they just threw into the dub during the city race episode, where, like, literally two guys in the crowd are like, hey, the Tanabe servants are helping cheat! And they just throw in a very casual, oh my god, they shut the president! Oh wait, never mind.
I love that one. That was good.
Like, what an insane little bit of thing to just throw in the background. Obviously not as insane as the Walla guy in Clannad talking about killing himself, but that's another thing here or there.
That's a very different reason for putting that in the background. Like, the president getting shot thing actually matches with the tone here. The Clannad thing was just Stephen Foster fucking around.
That tracks. Anyways.
Typical.
God. Someday I will want to talk about and revisit the Clannad dub. Maybe the day I decide to put my microphone down for good, I'll be like, finally, let us talk about Clannad. We'll come back to that later. So yeah, Brian Hull's really good as the butler, but he really grew on me a lot as Ryota Adatara, who's just so fucking strange.
I was saying a lot.
He's just so weird.
In a show where a lot of characters are just strange.
He's just kind of like this guy who thinks he's really cool, but like, he is kind of really cool, but he's also really lame. Like, he's just holding his cup of coffee, and he manages to catch a rice ball midair like it was nothing. And he manages to just, like, get the fucking rice ball in the perfect shape. He's like,
it's important, you know? It's like you got to catch it at the same speed that it's coming at you. Like, you got see these diagrams I have here. This is the proper way to catch a rice ball.
Also, he is arguably the MVP of, like, the show's emotional climax. He literally white knights on a horse. Okay, sorry. It's not even a horse. It's guys dressed up in a horse costume.
Very clearly.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. It's like, those two guys.
It's just such a... I don't know why he's there with a horse, and the horse is just two guys. It's not even clear who the other guys are.
So when we said earlier that there are furry friends in this show, turns out there are both furry friends and furry friends in this show.
Furry fiends, for sure. Anyways, but also Ryota Adatara saves the day. Him and Riko Izumi save the day with very casual terrorism.
As you do. Jinx, you owe me a cake.
Here, you can have my root beer.
You said that at the same
Can
time.
you tell
Holy
we're
shit.
the generation that saw 9/11 happen live on television?
Hey. Oh.
Christ. But, like, literally just the sneezing fit and just blocking the plane is like, where'd she go? Oh, he's getting arrested. Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. But, like, Brian's really funny as like, Ryota, as well as just Hotaka, where they're very distinct voices, too. So shout out to Brian Hull. I guess a man who can legitimately voice match Adam Sandler has some pretty impressive character acting.
Well,
comedy
to be
jobs.
fair, I'm sorry, Amon, just very quickly,
Yeah.
it's a Dracula impression because it's in Hotel Transylvania, so it's not one for one matching the Adam Sandler. I'm not going to try to do an impression of him. It's trying to do an impression of Adam Sandler's impression of Dracula. So, but still credit where it's due.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's some impressive character acting, and I would absolutely love to hear Brian in some more anime dubs in the future. Because as far as the first show, and really impressed by both his Hotaka and Anatara's.
The thing I like about Brian is he's able to bring that thing to Ryota. Ryota he has such confidence in what he says that other people run with it. So he can say something like, "Does Guinness count as a banana?" And they'll run with it for a little bit, even though, like, that's not anything. That's nothing.
That is the stupidest thing you can say, and it works.
Does Guinness count as a snack? I love that bit. That might have been my favorite bit he was in, frankly. Just them trying to come up with some sort of snappy catchphrase they can report to the head office, I guess, that determines these things.
Sorry, kids. Life is pain.
It was such a non sequitur that I was sure that it was like a poorly translated pun from the Japanese. Turns out, no, it's just a weird gag we're going for.
I'll be honest. The impression I got is that the answer he got is like, "Oh, somebody's offered that one already."
Right?
You can't claim it. Like there's no real punchline in my heart. I just feel like that's what he was told.
God, but it's just so bizarre and strange, and Brian really does a good job playing the silliness of that character efficiently, as well as just being like the good butler who is willing to kill for his lady. Which, as an aside, really every episode of City is kind of the next most impressive thing you've ever seen. It feels like every single episode has like a single sequence of somebody's just showing off.
Yeah.
And like the end of the race is just like, oh, they just want to fucking show off with that fucking tracking
uncut
drone shot
over top the city, all the people running, and it's animation is great.
I'm sorry, you just had a tracking drone shot made to animation to 2D animation? Are you fucking? Oh my god! Nobody does it like
everyone who worked on this is certifiable, and God bless him for it.
Also, Hotaka fulfilled my biggest ambition for the show that I hoped would carry over from Nichijou, which is, oh, thank God, we have another character with a retractable hand.
God. Anyways, I guess if you want to bring us back to Nichijou, I guess we can talk about the editor Todoroki and Kamaboko Oni, because they are kind...
Hold on.
What?
Amon, did you get in all that you wanted to say about the four main characters we were talking about here?
I think basically everything I had to say about them's been said already. They're fun.
All right. I will at least add, you get first dibs on talking about Kamaboko Oni and editor Todoroki, because they are a mangaka and an editor, have a very strange dynamic and duo, and Oni is convinced he's going to get replaced every week by somebody younger, cooler, and more talented than him, be it Wako Izumi or Daisuke Naganohara. Who is Daisuke Naganohara, you ask? Well, gentlemen, you remember a little show called Nichijou, My Ordinary Life, correct?
Yes.
Heard of it.
So, one of the main characters of that show is a girl named Mio, Naganohara. Daisuke Naganohara is her pen name.
Oh, I get it.
She
Dice.
she is an official mangaka now. Daisuke Naganohara is her handle, and you know how it is the same Mio because she submitted Bonjour.
Wow, this is deep, man.
She submitted the fucking feudal lord yaoi BL explicit 18 plus chapter to the magazine where they're talking about buongiorning their buongiornos.
I feel like Mio from Nichijou and the lead character from Turning Red would get along really well.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I like how you said "oh yeah" in a very Canadian way. I'm like, yeah, that tracks for Turning Red.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sure, Bob.
But yes.
I'm an adult, according to the Toronto Board of Riding the Bus.
Anyways, I just wanted to add that little detail there, and just because I think that's a fun detail, and I believe in Japanese, I do not think it was the case for the English dub, but definitely in Japanese, they did confirm it was the same Seiyu for Mio.
Makes
There
sense.
you go.
But so yes, Ahmad, would you like to talk about Oni and Todoroki first?
I love how seriously they take this stupid comic they make. Like, I say this as someone who, I look at this and it's like, I would absolutely be a Mr. Bummer fan, but it's like, you are taking this stupid gag comic you do way too seriously. Calm down. It's not the end of the world.
It is.
And the one time it does get canceled, like, it's like, oh, they dropped out. I guess Mr. Bummer's uncanceled.
And then it's just like, hey, Oni!
Mr. Bummer 2.
Let's do Mr. Bummer 2!
What about 2?
I also love the fact that, like, they're both kind of... Like, it's not like one has more power over the other. They're both just kind of insecure and pathetic.
Yeah,
You get this... You get the sense that Todoroki only edits the one series, possibly for his own good.
As an aside, like, there's an incredible visual bit of, like, the Roomba Dogezen apology pose all the way from the office to Oni's apartment. That's such a good, stupid sight gag, where he's just the apology Roomba. So much love to Andrew and Max's comedic delivery on this. Just
It's almost.
how much they sound like they are panicking, how much they sound like they are basically on the verge of tears at every single moment.
It does not stretch credulity that these two would have tapped into their own inner lives to play two characters that are basically fretting over something that in the grand scheme of things may not be super important, but to them is their entire world. That feels very actor, theater kid energy right there.
I think anyone who's ever had to make something understands these two.
Oh, 100%.
Like, they have been here. They have been these
It's
people.
not only just having to make something, it's having to make sure the thing gets made. And, like, those are both equally talented, difficult skills. And, like, I'll say this. There's a lot of jokes that can be made, and will be made, about will they, won't they situationships between some of the girls in this show. These two have a very complicated will they, won't they situationship. Where it's like, yeah, I can believe that. Like, literally, like, Oni gets jealous because Todoroki's trying to get Wako on board. Which, like...
I'm so happy when Wako became part of that three-way, like, need to translate between them situation.
Oh, like, we'll talk more about, like, Wako's actress later, but, like, that was, like, one of my favorite parts of their performance, was them literally getting to play both Oni and Todoroki simultaneously while also playing herself.
Just expending so much energy on something that, again, is a tiny, tiny part of the grand scheme of the world, but becomes their entire reality, and they give it 110%. Andrew and Max, goddamn after my own hearts for that.
Like, everything with Todoroki and Oni is like, oh, so this is just the author talking about what their life is like. This is just Keiichi Arawi talking about making a silly comic and how much they want to die every week.
Now, Amon, I believe you told me when we did the Nichijou episode 10,000 years ago that and City they're not 4 comas, right? They're structured like
No, they are. I actually double checked this when before we were going for no, they're like comics. They are structured and panel. They are not 4 comas.
See, I can understand the frustration of making I need a new gag for every 4 coma panel every single week. I feel like doing comics like this, there's a little more, you have more freedom with the structure, so you wouldn't have the exact same issues that Oni and Todoroki are having here, because it feels like the comic they're making is a 4 coma, isn't it?
I believe, yes, this is very much a 4 coma that they are making.
I'm blanking on what you actually see on page, but it definitely has the rhythm of a 4 coma as opposed to what City actually reads which is much more of
a
at
least see
chapter.
One of the Mr. Bummer comics or a couple of panels from the previous Mr.
We see a lot. Yeah, that first episode we see it's a sequence of pratfalls. It's hit with a washboard, slipped on a banana peel, fall into a manhole. It's and that's the gag. It's Garfield basically.
Okay, actually, wait. I think we see a full comic strip of the imitation that Wako Izumi makes, which is basically the life of happiness, which is basically understanding his style so well to make the inverse version of his comic.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell she's just such a super fan, and it's that's cute. That's genuinely really cute. But Max and Andrew are just delightful little duo in and of themselves.
The only this isn't a criticism, I guess, but it's just an observation, is that because they're matching each other's energy, they're very nervous energy, they're kind of interchangeable vocal-wise, I feel. Either one could have been the other character, and again, that's not a critique necessarily, it's just, if I wasn't watching on the screen to know who was talking, I might have gotten the two mixed around.
Fair enough. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Maybe not intentional, but appropriate, if that makes sense. They kind of come across as two halves of the same brain
100%.
a lot of the time.
Sure. I'm sure it was intentional.
But they're a good bit. Also, just because I can't really throw them in anywhere else, shout out to Brooke Chalmers, also playing a couple of the old men in this show, who I believe he is the City Magazine editor-in-chief. He is also Dr. Adatara, this show's inventor. And okay, yeah, I know he plays those 2 characters in particular.
That's very interesting. Again, I don't want to compare too much to Nichijou, even though we've already done it a bunch. But I feel like the Nichijou dub had about as many characters and didn't quite double cast as much as this.
I feel like this is a different production circumstances and all that, so I'll give it some leniency there.
Yeah.
It's not something that bothers me too much, at the very least. It's the kind of thing where it's if I was not a dubbing, voice acting fiend man, I could probably see myself not noticing as I would in some other instances.
Oh, sure.
Speaking as the resident member who cannot tell anybody from anybody else.
I do think it is very funny you have been on this podcast for over a decade, and you somehow have less of an ear to pick out Dub's voices than your partner.
Bold of you to assume that would improve it in any way, shape, or form. All those brain cells are taken up by being able to tell different singers apart from each other.
We all got our different fixations. And speaking of which, Nobuteru Takare.
Gosh damn.
He doesn't get as much as some of the other guys, but whenever he gets to show off, especially when he gets his whole performances, holy fuck, AJ Locasio just steals the scenes. Incredible performance work. Incredibly inspired. Honestly, very tricky performance work.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is not easy to do what is effectively sing-song storytelling like that. While also keeping, like, the fun rhyme scheme thing going. And kind of on the beat. That's not easy.
I cannot imagine how much work must have gone into those sequences, just from like the writing, his performance, getting all that. Like, there's so much work on screen for those little goofy sequences of him doing really low rent in terms of how much money clearly went into it, in the sense that he is clearly
broke, but
and they had like 500 yen to pull everything
together.
The
furry friend actors really does a lot, as much as like Nagumo's very indifferent, I am just here for a paycheck.
Oh yeah.
It's so delightful. Every single one of those performances was just killer. And like even like when he gets to be part of the race, he just has his buddy who is just kind of like a Mr. Ghost, which is just all of his 4 furry friends in a sheet.
I know.
That had very
he was disqualified because his partner disappeared. Not was revealed to be a bunch of animals in a sack. Just
I also
disappeared.
love the fact that they're like also hanging out with the show's resident cryptids, and they're like, "Hey, you guys, what are you doing here? You're not rare animals. Well, we just found this guy. What's he supposed to be?" And it's just like a cartoon man.
It's tall Ziggy.
Like I literally
now understands.
If I was to explain it to the children,
David Bowie
he's kind of like the whitewashed version of Charlie from the Smiling Friends.
That is what he literally looks like. That's true.
Like there is literally fan art I have seen of this creature getting painted yellow to look like Charlie Smiling Friends.
Oh boy.
Like they.
Do we have any confirmation that the Smiling Friends crew hasn't seen Nichijou?
I'm gonna say
or read the city.
There
manga?
is I would say the odds of the creators having seen it are probably low to zero. As far as some of the animators working on it, I would say there's absolutely a shot some of them are Nichijou freaks.
That's fair.
Like, the modern day animation industry is made up of the kids who watched Newgrounds and Toonami.
I don't know if I'd agree with that entirely.
I don't think you want to agree with that. I don't think you want to agree with that because you don't want to accept that I'm right.
I think Andrew's being intentionally reductive to make a point. Let's leave it at that.
Yes.
I mean, we could turn this into a Twitter discussion, absolutely, but I'd like to keep this the more positive.
Let's leave Twitter buried out back where it is.
Let's leave Twitter buried out back. Let's just generate for you a better podcast episode instead of a bikini on an underage girl.
Ugh.
Oh, my brain went weird places there. So yeah, AJ is a great actor, excellent actor, and I don't think I've actually heard him in anything else before this. I'm still catching up on some of the newer shows that you had just listed, but yeah, from this performance at least alone, definitely carries a whole lot of weight, and once again, a lot like Max and Andrew before, putting a whole lot of energy into something that maybe in the grand scheme of the universe is not going to do very much, but god damn it, he's giving it his all.
Alright. God, yeah, no, AJ Locasio, like, for what he gets to work with, he fucking steals the show, and it's so fucking funny.
He is high on my list of my highlight of the show just for the 2 theatrical sequence. To be fair, the scene where he's just arguing with his furry friends and it's just him monologuing at non-responsive animals is also very funny.
I'll pay you in ramen! I'll pay you in ramen! The good kind!
Slowly racking his way up to like 5-cent foods that he can actually offer them.
Now see, I was wondering upon a rewatch if that whole joke of saying, I'm so sorry about being late with the script and stuff, would still hold water if you already knew that he was talking to animals initially. But it's still funny, even if you know that he's not talking to people, he's talking to animals. that you've never
He's
seen.
talking to a monkey, a duck, a mouse, a hedgehog.
A hedgehog.
Which I love the hedgehog because he gets to steal the show in self-esteem when he's just the grumpy little guy. And I'm like, oh, he's so grumpy. He's a little grumpy. He's a little gross. He's a little gross. Look at the little guy. Look at him. Look at him fucking go.
The only thing that would have made his performance better, the only thing, a Cajun accent.
Shut the okay, we're done here. All right, fuck you. All right. So, with that, we have covered a good amount of city residents, and now it is time we move on to what is effectively the secondary main characters. That would be the members of the Makabe family, which includes Tatewaku Makabe, Matsuri Makabe, and the head chef of Western cuisine Makabe, Tsurubishi Makabe, as well as a girl named Eri Amakazaki, a.k.a. Echan, who is Matsuri's middle school best friend. Playing the role of Tsurubishi is Brent Mukai, Tatewaku is Kevin Andrew Rivera, Matsuri is Sarah Miller Cruz, and Eri, a.k.a. Echan, is one Christina V. Valenzuela. Brent Mukai has played Dorsha in Ranking of Kings, Atsuya Baba in Odd Taxi. Now, if the name sounds familiar, that is one of the comedians in Odd Taxi. He plays Umi Bozu in Lovely Complex. And my other favorite dad doing his best that Brent Mukai plays, the Mantissian, a.k.a. the Dover Demon, a.k.a. translated from his alien language, Peeny Weeny in Don Da Don.
Ah, yes. I only recently finished that show.
All right.
I forgot he was supposed to be the Dover Demon. That's funny.
Yes, he plays the single dad who is doing his best for his baby boy in that. He is best dad in that. Kevin Andrew Rivera plays characters such as Chikara Shigano in Undead Unluck, Osuke Momokado in Togen Anki, Hansa Cervantes in Fate Strange Fake, and just because we finished talking about Don Da Don, he plays Manjiro, the unibrow monk who just wants to be a boob tuber. I'm sorry, I think it's boo tuber. I think I just said boob tuber just because it came.
No, you got it right the first time. And that's what it should be called. Let's start a petition to rename YouTube as BoobTube. Anyone on board with this?
I think the children would arguably be safer on BoobTube than modern day YouTube.
Probably.
It would certainly be a lot perkier.
Keep going before he continues this train of thought, Andrew.
I'm so mad. I'm so upset. I'm so upset because that's actually a really good bit, and I'm very mad I didn't think of it first.
I'm thinking of the Pop Team Epic moment of like, are you annoyed? Are you annoyed? Are you annoyed?
I am not upset.
Please go on.
So Sarah Miller Cruz, believe it or not, I think this is her first anime I have heard her do. But she has played things such as Angela, aka Trials of Mana, both Roxanne and Caitlin in the Pokemon Masters Pokemon Gacha game, and Lumine, which is the name of the female traveler, aka the female player character in Genshin Impact. So there is a surprising amount of overlap in the city, the animation dub, and Genshin Impact.
I wish I knew what that was.
No, you don't.
Yeah. I'm gonna say...
Not for actual experiencing it, but just for the ability to know what Andrew is talking about.
It is a big deal. Let's just go with that. And then Eri, aka Achan, Christina V. Valenzuela, has played many characters, but some highlights are Hawk from the Seven Deadly Sins, Sailor Mars, aka Rei Hino from Sailor Moon, Darkness in Konosuba, and The only other KyoAni dub credit I could find in this cast, she is the voice of Mio Akiyama in K-On!
I was wondering if we were going to get around to that.
Impressive.
All right.
Impressive.
So I'm going to make the call and say, however we choose to do this, Echan and Matsuri we do together because you cannot separate them. It is legitimately a crime to separate those two.
Archaeologists will say they were very good friends.
It's so strange to talk. Okay, I guess we're just going to talk about them together. Fuck it.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So
Why not?
how do I describe what I think I want to say about what I think of these two characters? I'm not going to say, "Aw, I ship them." That feels reductive to what I think I like about them as characters. Gentlemen, I know the three of us are in very committed, like, long-term relationships at this point in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I think...
Wait.
What?
Well, I was checking to see if Jen needed anything. We're good.
Oh my god, alright. So, the reason I mention relationships in that, and I'm not talking about I ship Matsuri and Echan. I think that's reductive to where I think I want to go with the conversation with them. I feel they are the truest embodiment of, like, love and completing somebody I've ever seen. Because to me, true love, true genuine companionship, where the other person knows you better than you know yourself, is very reminiscent to a really good comedy duo continuously doing bits back and forth ad nauseum to the heat death of the universe.
They probably will survive the sun's expansion and engulfing the Earth.
That is what I love about Matsuri and Echan, is that they are a really good duo. And I would arguably say they are the show's, like, emotional core to me. I would say, like,
I mean,
they are not, like, the main characters, but I feel like their arc is, like, the most dear thing to me watching this, to the point that, like, I like Nichijou. I like Nichijou a lot. I cannot say Nichijou genuinely made me cry. These two genuinely made me cry.
now you're
Their arc...
Yeah, I was gonna say you're talking about not the majority of the show, but like the conclusion where their spoilers separation happens.
Like, hell, even... To be fair, like, also the scene where, like, it's clear that Echan has to kind of suck up and finally take the initiative to tell her that she's going to move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the end of that is equally as upsetting, because you can kind of tell, like, their way of coping and dealing with it is to kind of, like, muck around and continuously throw gags and goofs back and forth at each other. But even then, like, the facade breaks and you can tell, like, through the pumpkin head, oh yeah, she's really sad and gonna miss her. She's really sad. They end the episode with them just kind of staring out at the sun on the river together. I'm like, fuck, man.
That was pretty harsh. And I'd forgotten, only upon this rewatch, is that they had set up the fact that Ichan was supposed to move away a lot earlier in the show than I had remembered.
It's an episode, too, straight up. They're like, have you told her yet? It's like, nah, not yet.
Yeah, I forgot. I guess I'd missed that. Right after the playing God bit that they did, I'd completely missed that offhand comment.
Just, like, I'm on any thoughts on these two before I go more into my glass case of emotion feelings about their arc?
They're a wonderful comedy duo, top tier. I think the thing I find kind of interesting about them, and I'll talk about this more when we get to our three leads, is I feel like it would have been very, very easy for Arai to just recreate the Nichijou trio dynamic with either these two or with our three lead characters. Yeah, it's a credit to him as a writer that he clearly avoids taking the easy route of like, no, I'm not just going to do that again. That's boring. I want to come up with a different dynamic, even though it's like a pair of teenage girls. I could do that, but like, no, their weirdness is a different thing. They're going to spend time pretending to be God, or just making up weird little routines and clubs to be a part of, and that's what they're going to do.
Practicing having an accent of all.
Yes.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, you want to talk about like clever localization? Yes, that sequence in Japanese is the girl speaks English. That is what the bit is in English.
Yep.
So how do you do that in English? She is doing funny, silly accents and bits.
Yep.
There you go.
A common failsafe in a lot of adaptation scripts. Still works out really well here because, again, both Christina and Sarah are just really good actors that work off each other really well, even for goofy moments like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a good bit where it's like, you can it's also just very funny that just like, that's why I kind of mentioned, like, I would say, it's hard for me to say, like I feel like saying I ship these two is reductive. I feel like they genuinely complete each other.
There's a very simple relationship dynamic that's been brought up before, and you guys may have already read this if you've read like couples training kind of stuff before, which is basically you want to find someone who is not 50% you, 50% the other person to make 100%. It is 100% you, 100% the other person, and you basically create a dynamic that is stronger with the both of you than you are separately all by yourselves.
And I think that's why it works. And like, even when you're talking about like flashing back to like her moving to school, where she's not only just a new kid, she's the new kid, and she's fucking weird. She's weird. She's the weird new kid that she's just kind of like has the energy. It's like, all right, I want to do it like this today. Okay, let's try and translate a code. All right, let's create a scenario where I'm the kid that's lived here and you're all the new kids. All right, let's just imagine these hypothetical scenarios, and gradually they just kind of start distancing herself from her. Mm-hmm. And like, not because they don't like her, but it's like they don't have it in them to really do with that.
Right.
And you just kind of see you see Matsuri hanging out with her friends talking about teenage girl stuff, and they're like, guys, what would you do? The thing you think you'll kind of like, or the thing you think will be the most fun? I'm going to do the thing that's the most fun. And she just sticks with Echan forevermore. And then they win a race on canned stilts.
Because what else could it be? How else are you going to get through all the traps?
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. Actually.
I mean, I don't know if they knew that there were going to be traps along this. Like, I don't know if this race has happened before and people just forgot, oh yeah, there's going to be like all these obstacles in the way, but no, that absolutely...
You know what I think? I think Wako did that knowing they were going to do the canned stilts, and it's like, oh, they won't set off the traps like that.
Let's say with that
funny.
race, the best people who deserve to win absolutely won.
Oh, that was a good. All right, you're saying?
Well, I guess Amon kind of reminded me also about the earlier we were talking about the dynamic of the whole city, where it's not just encapsulated to a high school. Even though these two are high schoolers, but it encapsulates the.
They're not actually. They're middle schoolers.
I'm sorry, they are in middle school. I constantly get that confused in Japanese settings because middle school is almost like high school, and high school is almost like college in how important it is to your career. To
give you some benefit of the doubt, I will say visually the difference between Matsuri, the middle schooler, and Tatewaku, the high schooler, are not that different, so I'm not going to bust your balls too much about that.
Or even the characters we're going to talk about in a bit who are in their 20s do not look that different from the flashbacks when they were in high school. Age is a weird thing to visualize in this show.
Yeah, ROI's art style tends to rely heavily on tertiary characteristics to indicate how old or young anyone is.
Exactly.
Do you have a mustache, for example?
Their dad isn't. You can tell their dad is an adult because he has a mustache. Which, as an aside,
that's why you don't see.
God,
how many adult women do we see in this show?
They do incredible things with mustaches in the show.
Quality facial hair.
Just the way it flows in the wind. Incredible stuff.
Yes, it is. Anyways, the point I was trying to get at very quickly is I know writers have said that like a writer will craft the ideal world in the fiction that they write, and that seems to be why the author went in a different direction from the dynamic that you were talking about from Nichijou with this, because how many of us long to find that best person someone? Like, obviously we have all found our person for long committed relationships, but like to find the person who not only matches your weirdness but also like plays off of it in a way that makes you think of something that is like also weird but exactly what you wanted to think of. It's again that comedy duo dynamic going back and forth, and I like that Christina's voice is different enough from Sarah's that they are vocally distinct from one another. Like, I think Christina is slightly nasalier than Sarah's is, to try to give Ichan a slightly weirder sounding voice. But again, it contrasts off of Sarah's, I guess, more normal sounding voice.
I would say, what is it like the bokeh and the Sukomi kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, it's like the straight man and I would say Matsuri plays the good straight man, and Echan is the much more exaggerated one of the duo.
That is exactly, the proper dynamic for it, which we don't really have an equivalent to in American or in Western comedy, because we're more used to, like, single-person stand-ups.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what an incredible comedy duo, and very funny, very endearing. I think the most accomplished thing I could say is not only just do I think they are funny, I think they are endlessly endearing and warm. They are warm and sincere in a way that, like, the goofy kids that are working off their silly bits genuinely made me cry because they're moving away from each other.
That is heartbreaking. I think I said this in the chat, that there is a alternative universe where these two could have absolutely held down their own segment in, like, a Looney Tunes series or the Animaniac show from the 90s, because that's how much chemistry there is and how many variations of it you could play off each other for 6 seasons in a movie.
Just delightful pair, and, like, especially impressed as, like, what is effectively, like, Sarah's, like, first, like, anime role, playing, like, a weird comedic role like this, but really good performance, and Christina V is, like, that is a fucking industry titan at this point. She is hella professional, but absolutely incredible. She made this character as endearing, charming, and as sweet as they both did.
So I imagine that the next duo in this group is equally as chummy with each other, right?
Okay, so they are great. They are great because they both have very strong segments that they are the central focus of in different ways. I want to start with Brent Mukai's Tsurubishi. I love Brent's fucking weirdo, goofy man. He's got some really silly, goofy segments.
I like the one where... you first.
Is it stewed giblet gratin?
Yeah, the one where he finds this restaurant, he wants to go there enough and he can just order the usual, and because he can't read the fucking menu written in this guy's crappy handwriting, he ends up just ordering whatever he recommends, which he grows to loathe because it sounds like it was not very good in the first place. And then on his 7th day, when he thinks he's done this enough that he can just ask for the usual, the guy's gone out of business. It's like, it did now just occur to me that I've never seen a single other human ever eat lunch there.
Even though I went during various times of the day. Yeah.
So, Tsurubishi Makabe is just such a straight... I think what's great, and what does work about City, is we are effectively talking about a group of, like, in this section, we are talking about a group of middle school girls who are basically like an inseparable comedy duo. What is effectively the teenager in any other, like, comedy, which is a teenage boy dealing with hormones and, like, soccer and sports and being a high school boy. And then there's just their dad, who is just, like, running a restaurant, doing his own thing. And they're all distinctly different types of stories. They're all very distinctly different types of chapters, but all very similar, strange senses of comedy. And Tsurubishi's is just, God, I'm getting old. Shit's fucking weird. Whatever. I don't even care anymore. So, he also has, like, what did you call it? The old man yaoi segments?
The old man summer, where him and the editor-in-chief and the other guy are trying to recapture the Halicon days of their youth by going on summer vacation again, and the universe just constantly thwarts them at every turn.
It just closes for the summer. Like, just straight up closes, and they're just drinking, and it's like, hey, whatever, who gives a fuck? But also, he's just got these really... Oh, right. God. The fucking, like, just the going to the beach while it's storming as, like, the storm is fighting them at every turn. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, Brett's just really funny. He's just got really great delivery. Like, fuck, even at just episode 1, where he just first appears, you must wear it, Tatewaku! Is your lucky item is your skirt? Like, if the lucky item was just curry and rice, were you just gonna walk around all day with curry and rice in your hand? No, curry and rice is not something you hold around, it's something you eat. So obviously, if the lucky item's a miniskirt, it's something you wear. So, how you feeling?
It's very telling about him as a person that when he sees one of his children harassing his other child, his immediate instinct is to join in and ganging up on the other one.
Like they're not even like busting his chops. My biggest compliment I will give to Takewaku is he has very big trans girl Shinji Ikari vibes going for him. He fucking rocks that shit. He also somehow manages to rock
that horrifying boutique thing he pays $50 for.
The fucking...
The worst part is that's like, he doesn't look terrible in this ridiculous outfit, but the one sandal's maybe a little too much over the line, but like, he's looking better on him than it should.
And then they add like the fucking like drunken alcohol gourd to his side.
To really enhance the bum look, yes. Mm-hmm.
Which, as an aside, I love when he's trying to wear that outfit, and, like, there's just this great line delivery where he's like, oh no, my mom didn't wash my other clothes. Oh, silly me, this was all I had on. It's fine, everybody will hear that, and they'll understand. It's like, hey, I've been there before. Wait. How much is that?
Yeah.
Just... unbelievable line delivery from Kevin Andrew Rivera, which that guy's been getting a lot of work lately, and just hearing him fucking go for it as Tatewaku, it's like, I can see why this kid's got some good fucking chops.
Oh yeah.
I also kind of love how, like, Matsuri and Edshot were actually trying to be supportive of Tatewaku's shitty outfit. So they kind of walked out looking shitty themselves, or it's like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, like, recombobulate the center of the universe because we're going to look like the new normal and we're going to wear shitty outfits and we're going to make him look good in comparison. And then they see him walking with the girl he's crushing on, and they're like, oh shit, this worked. Farewell, my first love. And it's like, I don't even know if she actually did have a crush on him or if she's just doing it because it's funny. Both are believable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I lean more towards the because I think it's funny thing, but
I also do believe Edshot had would be somebody who would have a genuine crush on her friend's brother and then just be sad about it for a day and then be like, alright, let's move on. But, God, it's like fucking Tsurubishi. I also think, like, they do get one chat sequence together, which is Tatewaku, it is me! I am you! From the future!
Such an elaborate ruse to bust your kid about his shitty math scores.
like honestly, it wasn't believable because like you hear a voice. How do you not assume that's your dad? But honestly, with those test scores, I do believe that Tadawaku might not be the brightest bulb in the crayon box.
He is good at sports. Not
Is he? Is he good at sports? That one.
He's as good at sports as he is as good at sports as the rest of his team is.
That is a low bar to clear. So yes, you are correct.
I like how their one good player is just a kid that's always getting himself, like, fucked up.
That was another part of the tower episode. Is if you're watching, it's he almost trips over a gopher again, and his teammates have to lift him up and like carry him almost like on their shoulders to get him there safely.
That's so good. Which, as an aside, you want to talk about one of the craziest shots is like when they're doing the individual motions of everybody at the party, and then they put the pieces together. That is like. There's an argument to be made of what is the most impressive episode of City. I think I will still stand by episode 5.
I don't think there's a debate at all.
So I had a question. Are you guys familiar with how that was drawn in the original manga?
Was it
Was it just in a 2-page spread?
Or was it
It is a 2-page spread, but I really need to emphasize how many times he draws variations of this one semi-bird's eye view of that outdoor party. Like, that thing shows up like 7 or 8 times with more and more people going in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, over and over with people building. Like, it I remember reading that, and it's like, oh my god, there is so much happening here. This must have taken him all fucking a week to draw by itself.
Or he's got, like, an amazing editor or an assistant who could, like...
I really hope he has assistants. Oh,
well, he could be he could be a Winsor McKay or a Charles Schultz.
I do know Toriyama very famously did not like employing assistants, and most of Dragon Ball is just him.
Togashi Hunter x Hunter is very much infamous for the fact that at this point he just likes doing it himself.
Which fair enough.
Good for him.
It is.
But yeah. So, like, I'm trying to think, like, at this point, the chapter of, like, them playing off of each other, messing with each other is just real good. But yeah, Kevin is very funny as, like, a love-struck, dumb, sporty teenage boy. Oh, as an aside, there's that whole chapter where there's, like, how are you gonna win her over? Let's start a band. Every band name you can think of is taken. Duck Noodle Yokomoku Daikon Pickles is taken. And then we're like, all right, what's your favorite holiday? Oban. What would you say? You're acting very jovial right now. I got it.
Bon Jovi. That hasn't been taken, right?
What a stupid punchline. I think what gets me about City is some of the gags really are just really stupid, but it's delivered with the confidence at every turn that makes it funny.
Oh yeah.
Which to be a little
I think that's what I would sum up with all of the characters in this section, is that they're all playing these kind of dumb and kind of stupid, but the sincerity is there, which makes the performance believable, which makes the performance even funnier.
Oh yeah.
A little disagree, just because I guess I personally like my comedy where it's not so serious. Like, I like comedy that subverts your expectations or that you can't see the gag coming. And when you get kind of assimilated to the animation comedy style, you kind of expect what's coming up. Like, sure, they play it as hard as a heart attack, and it absolutely, you get credit for the effort they put into it. I don't feel like it hits me personally as strongly as it does. Like, Andrew, I know you've been gushing about this for very good reasons. I'm just thinking, this is why I couldn't quite, like, put it on my top list or anything like that. Nothing against the actors, even. Just the style here is something that feels like
I think that's fair. I think that's fair, and I recognize that, like, this author's style is so hyper-specific that I could believe somebody not thinking this is that funny, but there's something that about it that feels so true to itself that even when it doesn't, like, land, I have nothing but the utmost respect for it.
Absolutely. I mean, there is no flavor like raspberry flavor. And even if you don't like raspberry flavor, you can agree there is nothing like it out there in the world.
Like, but yeah, I think just a lot of that is just, these characters are very endearing. And, like, if this work was not as sincere, made with as much care and love as it is, Echan and Matsuri would just be annoying, obnoxious anime girls.
And we've got
I would not look at these goofy kids with as much sincerity and joy and, like, you know how hard it is in the big 2026 to get emotional about kids moving away? When it's like, oh, I could just Discord you. I could see you on TikTok. I can beat your ass at Fortnite. Yada yada. Like, that felt real. That felt sincere. That was like, I'm losing my best friend. Like, it's like, I know I can come see you. I know I can come visit you in London. But my best friend at school won't be there. The person that I talk to that makes my day better every day won't be there. And that scares me. And I'm like, fuck! That shouldn't hit me as hard as it does. And the fact that she gives her back, like, the national, like, the Nobel Matsuri Prize, I'm like, fuck! I'm actually crying.
So what I'm taking
Can't do that.
What I'm taking away, and I think we should all be taking away from this, is Andrew needs to watch the Disney movie Ralph Wrecks the Internet if he wants that same emotional turmoil.
What? What?
You haven't seen it, have you?
What the fuck? The movie where, like, the people on social media are bullying the fictional character for being a worthless pack of bum?
Well, I mean, that's what they do in the first one, but have you seen the sequel? You haven't, have
Disney...
You heard it here, folks.
Are you...
All right, recommend.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me there's something worth watching in the sequel of Wreck-It Ralph?
I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you, but yes, much of the emotional crux of the Wreck-It Ralph sequel, which, yes, to reiterate, is about the video game characters traveling through the internet, is the turmoil of possibly losing direct contact with your best friend because they feel that they need to go in a different direction in life and you don't want to lose them.
I'm gonna be honest, Noah. I do not feel the sincerity and emotional crux of what makes this work for me will not be there in a movie called Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is a reference to a fucking Kardashian meme from, like, eons ago that is already out of date. And, like, I think her doing the bottle thing off of her ass is, like, an emote in Fortnite now.
I see that.
I don't think it's gonna land.
Never taught you not to judge a book by its cover.
Alma, would you like to add any more for this while I strangled the shit out of our buddy here?
I think what I've said wants to be... They're funny.
Agreed.
Hardy har.
Hardy hard, the tears are real, fuck you.
Exactly.
I love the Makabe family and Echan. I really think Brent, Kevin, Sarah, and Christina absolutely killed it.
I'm sorry the Michelin star wasn't real.
That was devastating.
Oh, God, I would be so mortified. And the fact that they're like, it's a star in the mail! It's gotta be real!
Like, there's no way that can be real. Like, there's no way the show can end on that high of a note. But you're still secretly hoping maybe they got a Michelin star? Because they certainly deserve it.
So...
They look like good crispy noodles.
Also, I think about, like, the end of this show, and I think about a wise quote from a little-known show called Naruto, from a man named Deidara, who is technically, like, a terrorist, is a villain, maybe? Anyways, he said the phrase, art is an explosion, before he died. And, the finale of City is art as an explosion, in its truest sense of the word. And it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, would you like to move on to our final group of, broke girls doing the best they can?
Absolutely.
They wouldn't be so broke if she had given all that prize money to charity.
There's Midori Nagamo, Nikura, just Nikura, and Wako Izumi. Midori Nagamo is a 20-something-year-old girl whose glory days are behind her, and she's kind of just trying to figure out what the hell to do with her life, with no money and no career aspects. Nikura is kind of her slightly more ambitious situationship friend that she's kind of mooching off of, but Nikura is also kind of harboring what I can only describe as the most unhealthy, down atrocious lesbian pining crush in a gag comedy series I've ever seen. And then there's Wako. There's Wako Izumi, who is just...
walked in from an entirely different cartoon.
She is just the embodiment of autistic charm.
When I feel really stressed out, I rub the gills on my shiitake mushroom, and it brings me back to nostalgic feelings. And then I, thread the putty in my pocket.
She's so cute. She's so sweet. She's so kind. She's so fucking autistic. I love her. I love her so much. I love all of them, but I think you're correct in that this is very clearly not just the trio in Nichijou again. They are very different. Like, Midori and Nikura have, like, the will they won't they uncomfortable sexual tension. And Wako just kind of comes in every now and then in a comfy new little, like, hoodie kigurumi that just looks like the comfiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And she's just like, hi guys, what you doing?
I just wandered into this tower. I wasn't kidnapped.
I just climbed up this tower.
No, my favorite part is when they're doing the big 360 zoom around on the tower. You can see someone climbing up the side.
You can't see that.
I wonder if that's gonna pay off. And it's like, oh, it's Wako.
I love the fact that that is just a claymation, that is just fucking claymation, like made proper model mansion. And they do the zoom, and it's like, yeah, I did notice on the rewatch. Holy shit, you can see her climbing up. That's really funny.
This show definitely should get credit for its mixed media usage, like the claymation in the ending scene, or the mix of CGI and hand drawn and real models. I love mixed media. Like that makes me really appreciate this show.
Genuinely, this is a show that, like, you feel, like, alive because you feel the love and the art in everything that goes into it.
This is very much a show that feels like a show made by animators, not just because, it's fancy pants, but people who clearly like a lot of different forms of animation, and it was like, we need to cram in as many different styles as we possibly can while still having it look visually coherent.
Like, I think about the fucking, like, pulling of the putty eraser, and, like, you could see the strands, and I literally look at that as a man who can't animate a fucking ball bouncing to save his life, and I think that is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen put to animation.
Oh, yeah.
How the fuck? How in the fuck? Would you like to talk about who plays these characters?
Yes.
Sure. Wako Izumi is one of our directors, Brenna Larson. Nikura is Kat Bertano, and Miguri Nagamo is Erica Lindbeck. Brenna Larson has played characters such as Yeo Misang and Jaina Repelisa Jade in the second season of Tower of God. She plays Makoto Kuonji in Digimon Beat Break and Navia in Genshin Impact, because we're just bringing this all back around to Genshin Impact. Kat Bertano has played Ruli Tsukiyono in Digimon Ghost Game, Kamoli Harcourt in Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks, Comet in Nosia? It's Gnosia. I think it's Nosia? I don't know how you say it. And she is also Dorothy Hyatt in Trails in the Sky, the first chapter remake.
If you mispronounce it as Gnosia, no one would be able to tell you were wrong.
Anyways, Erica Lindbeck is no stranger to this podcast or the anime dubbing industry at this point. She is Kaori Miyazono in Your Line April, Futaba Chakra in Persona 5, and Persona 5 the Animation, Chilai in Dragon Ball Super Broly, and Naraku Anjo, aka Anaru, in Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
That's a stacked cast there.
Amon, would you like to start us on Wako Izumi?
I'm trying to think if I have a favorite Wako moment. And it's a little too hard to narrow that down, but I do like the bit where they're gonna try and find the locket, where her initial thing is to just handcuff their feet together.
Oh, not
and then as she's
that's not the only thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but they do that, and then they're leaving. They're like, "Hey, wait, that's not fair." And she's like, "Oh, it isn't?
Oh, is that not fair?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry."
So she undoes it, and is they both bolt off, and then as she just casually leaves to reveal that she has in fact set a giant glue trap outside of the apartment door that she happily skips over while they're too stuck to get out of. And it's just,
what a good cartoon bit.
Because that stuff, that sticky stuff, it's not just glue. Like, because in the original Japanese, they actually say what it is. It's apparently a substance called bird lime, which is a substance that you pull from trees to get, like, insects and stuff. It's basically fly trap material.
Amazing. I don't think Wako is intentionally named after the Animaniacs character, but I do find it's appropriate that she shares a name with such a explicitly cartoon character, because that is very much what she feels like.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's thinking that.
I also do enjoy the fact that even though you don't see a lot of them together, I can tell she loves her sister. Like, there's like a genuine, like, oh, these two genuinely like each other and care about each other. But like, oh, you can definitely feel the tism really runs in that family.
It's just very funny that she is such a colossal space cadet in a way that means she's really talented at a couple other things, but also will, like, try and walk across the water on her little, like, water spider thing, and will continue walking into the water even when it's very clear that it's not going to work. You just get that beautiful shot where her hat sits on the top of the river and then starts floating downstream while the air bubbles stay in place.
She can be dissuaded by nothing.
What a good bit. And, like, I just think of, like, God, I don't think anybody in this show looks more comfy than Wako in her fucking penguin suit. Just maximum comf.
Oh yeah.
I would say definitely, we mentioned it briefly, but I would say my favorite bit, and definitely my favorite part of Brenna's performance in particular, is when she is imitating Kamaboko Oni and Todoroki having a conversation through the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
While also still being herself and reading Bonjour and freaking out the whole while, and then just being like, I have finished reading it. I can say, as a matter of fact, this is definitely X-rated. And just like I also love how she's doing the thing, and like near the end of the exchange, she is imitating their faces as well. And I'm like, that's such a good little detail they did not need to do.
I wasn't able to find a confirmation for it, but it would not surprise me if that sequence wasn't inspired by Gary's Game, the Pixar short where an old man is playing chess against himself.
Oh, she's literally walking around fast enough to give herself her own handshake.
That was great. That whole sequence was great.
Oh, there's so like Wako's just such a good cartoon character, and there's just something about the way Brenna plays her with just the most warmth, the most sincere sweetness. I don't believe she has a cruel or mean bone in her body.
No.
I genuinely feel she is like the kindest person in the show, that she's like, I'm just going to throw away an entire like million-yen prize because I want to see these two friends get one last big memory together. And I believe she meant it. I believe she genuinely meant it.
Well, why else would she be staying in the drawer where they keep their futon, if not to support them?
Oh God, you want to talk about God fucking Nikura and Midori? Those two need all the support they can get because like there is gay, and then there is whatever the fuck is going on between those two.
I don't know what the term for that would be, but I think oblivious would be in there somewhere.
I like I would say like where do I go with this?
Well, it's a different dynamic. First off, like it's different from the Achan and Matsuri dynamic we talked about before. Like this is not two people who like work off each other as like close friends. This is it's a very different, almost odd couple dynamic where they're not necessarily getting along with each other, but they complement each other in a way that they probably couldn't do as well without the other one.
All right, I'm gonna say I've done a very good job not being crass in this particular episode. So I will just say, bro, these two gotta fucking get it over with. Oh my fucking god. Like, oh my god.
But then we wouldn't have a show, Andrew.
You're right. But like, oh my god, these two need to fuck so bad. And
So are you saying the tension is what gives the show its existence?
I would not say the tension gives the show its existence. I'm just gonna say the tension does a lot for what Nikura and Nagumo got going on. And I will say they are very much, how do I describe this? They are not freaks that complement each other. They are freaks together. Like,
I think I got
Nagumo is kind of like a superhuman girl that's kind of learning that, like, she's kind of lazy and she doesn't know what to do with herself. And Nikura is kind of like so in love with her, but also like she knows she is at her best and her hottest when she has a goal to reach towards. And she's like, I'm going to get you that goal, to get you what you need, because it's going to be so good. You're going to be so amazing, and it's going to be so fucking good. As an aside, Nikru's also a fucking freak, just the way she eats her fucking crunchy noodles. Like, I look at that and I'm like, damn, girl, you eat pussy like that? Yeah, she probably eats pussy like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being handed a cue card, and I'm saying this is, in fact, not a dub talk of new panty and stocking with Gardabelt, and this is, in fact, an episode about City the animation. So I will refrain from talking about pussy eating for the rest of this episode.
I think our
I humbly
sponsors would be very
apologize.
happy about that. Thank you very much.
We have sponsors?
Yes. But by the way, it's time for ad break. This episode is brought to you by NordVPN. Yes, NordVPN.
Oh,
if
God.
you're looking to break into anywhere around the world where you'd like to watch your cartoons because you live in a lawless country that doesn't get the good stuff, use NordVPN. It's going to swipe your data and probably reveal you to the FBI, but that's okay because for a very small fee, you can watch the stuff on Canadian Netflix that you can't watch on American Netflix. That's NordVPN code. Please take Andrew.
This episode is also sponsored by AG1, aka you're a fucking filthy otaku who doesn't eat well enough. You need some more greens in your diet. You're gonna take this green powder, you're gonna put it in your drink, and you're gonna drink it, and you're gonna be happier, and you're gonna be healthier, and you're gonna fucking deal with it, you fucking pleb scrub.
We're very close to getting a Gamer Sup sponsorship. I can feel it in my bones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We need somebody with a hot anime VTuber model first. Amon, work those bones for us, buddy.
Does that work?
Perfect. Give me 13 episodes.
Beautiful. Great.
Beautiful. Okay. Anyways,
Back to
Capertano is hysterical as Nikara. Incredible, freaking out, flipping the fuck out, absolute train wreck of a human being. Cat's so funny. I would say if I had like a standout performance to me, like I would say Cat's probably like my favorite. My God, hilarious, incredible, immaculate creature, but also she's kind of a bitch too. I think like I love when she's trying to be a YouTuber, where she's kind of doing like the fake girlfriend thing. Like she's kind of doing like the fake girlfriend thing, like when she's doing like the the whole thing where she's like, holy crap, this is so freaking good. Just, but also she was ready. She was so ready to make her fucking uncomfortable will they won't they situationship lesbian crush dress like a fox girl in a fucking schoolgirl outfit.
And
Ready.
God bless the animators for that.
She's like, all right, I'm gonna make you do embarrassing things. You're gonna say like this thing. You're gonna say shano. You're gonna say this thing. You're gonna do the cute girl voice. It's gonna be great. We're gonna make so much money. It's gonna be great. Born producer, that one. Incredible.
What is it with modern anime and having a dedicated episode where the characters try to become YouTube stars? They did that in Witch Watch too.
Oh yeah, that's just the modern era now. Like, I genuinely believe if this came out a little later, we would be seeing VTuber arcs.
Oh boy.
It's coming.
Anyways, I will also credit both Kat and Erica Lindbeck for the very impressive oh wait, actually no, this didn't look as good as it did in my head.
This is our non-copyright infringement moment.
Fucking incredible stuff. The fucking Mambo number 5 bit is so bizarre, and then they commit, they got the actual song, and then they do the full video. Including stuff that wasn't even in the episode yet, like the fucking hot sauce thing. I'm like, this is good. This is so good.
What's also great about both Erica and Kat is that they don't just have to work with each other. Like, there are moments in the show where they're doing their own separate thing from each other, and they still hold their own. Like, Midori has a great scene in, again, the tower episode where she's just trying not to get...
she's trying
escape.
to sabotage everybody, and she's like, I want to be pampered!
Exactly. Which, I mean, again, goals, I totally get it. Alcohol in a bath, yes please. For free, even better. And there's moments where Nikura is like again, as a solo moment separate from Midori, is like, oh, reminiscing about their high school days, or like how she had no hobbies, but then she found, herself in photography. Like, though, that is, I think, something that really elevates both Erica and Kat's performances to show they work great together, and they still work great individually. To, again, play up what Andrew was saying about, like, the dynamic and, like, how do we describe it. If you do not have the time or the patience to watch this entire series to get what we're getting at here, I have a video for you. I have a video recommendation for you. Go on YouTube, which you're probably on right now, and search Daffy and Lola sharing a brain cell for 5 minutes and 36 seconds. It is a great compilation of Daffy Duck and Lola Bunny being goobers throughout the entire run of the Looney Tunes show. That dynamic, I feel, is the closest encapsulation of how the two work off each other without the lesbian overtones.
Okay.
Interesting.
I see what you're getting. But yeah, as a side, I do think Kat's, like, comedic insanity is, like, my favorite part of the show. I also do think I really do need to shout out Erica Lindbeck as Nagamo for a very specific thing. Lindbeck absolutely captures to perfection the tired millennial just trying to scrape vibe energy that Nagamo has. Like, I would not say, like, she is lazy. I would not say she is, like, good for nothing.
No.
But there is something about her that is just kind of, like, worn down that is absolutely conveyed to perfection in the way Erica Lindbeck plays Nagamo. She is cool. She is, like, she's cool. She's funny. She's silly. And she's clearly, like, sexy, too. I know people that look at Nagamo are like, oh, she can get it. And most of those people are Nikura. But, like, I've seen a couple other people who are like, yeah, no, she can get it. But, like, I'd say, like, Nagamo absolutely has, like, this kind of, like, listlessness of, like, I'm not sure what I'm trying to do, where I'm going for, but I want to do something that'll make me happy that I think will be fun. And I do think, like, there's something kind of charming about, like, the end of the last scene, like, that's just her and Nikura together. It's like, well, did you find something fun? And she's like, well, honestly, if I'm being real, every day has just been fun. And I think that's a uniquely bittersweet but charming note to end on, is that Nagamo is not living a perfect life. She's struggling to make ends meet. She's doing side jobs. She's a little run down and stressed, but she's doing, like, random shit every day in this town, in this city. But she is still living her best life. And she's still having fun doing her thing. And I think that's kind of charming in a way. You don't have to be the greatest. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the richest. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most creative. Just living your life. There is so much room to have fun and enjoy life. And I think that's really charming. I think that's what makes City work, is that it's so full of life and warmth. The city is alive. All of these people are alive.
There's certainly a subset of younger adults, especially ones who, like, maybe post high school, maybe even just finishing up college, who can take a lot from this because they also may be going through that aimless mid-20s life of not knowing where you want to go with life, not even knowing what your purpose is supposed to be, but being able to see encapsulated in this that there is still joy to be had in just existence. Absolutely, that can strike a chord, I'm sure, with many. It's a little past the time for at least myself, because I'm kind of gone past that part of life. But seeing it in this show, because we don't see a whole lot of that in other anime, is indeed very enjoyable to watch. Like, you contrast this with something like Agretsuko, which was all about the millennial malaise and the depression of working for no purpose, it seems like. There wasn't really joy in that. There's a lot more joy in this show that taps into something that, like you said, makes you appreciate even the not great days.
There's this fun line that I think was a dub line that's, I don't remember if this was Marin or Rachel that did it, but I think looking at it written out, I think it actually encapsulates exactly what like the thesis of the whole show is. Right now is a gift, and that's why they call it the present.
You make it sound so profound and not something a middle-aged man runs off while trying to come up with an excuse to get hammered.
But that's City! That's the show!
It really
is that profound moment of euphoric realization while it's a bunch of old men just kind of trying to putz around, get shit-faced, while everybody around them is just like, what the fuck's going on?
An ode to daydreaming.
And also there's a rabbit that's a bunny. And also, there's a rabbit that's a bunny that's also a cat. Yes. And his name is Mimi Neko, and he has very squishy ears. Everybody squishes his ears. Doesn't even mind.
I want a whole spin-off.
We do, actually. We do.
Yeah, doesn't he talk in the cryptid segment in the sewer?
He literally talks in the cryptid with, like, the giant salamander and Ibis and the fucking Charlie smiling friend. And the Tsuchinoko that talks like the Fargo, don't you know?
So yeah, this show has everything.
This show really does have everything. It's like, I guess this is just final thoughts at this point. I literally cannot believe we are here talking about this show. I cannot believe this show exists. I cannot believe this show was made. I cannot believe this show got dubbed. I cannot believe we are here on the Dub Talk podcast talking about it. There are hard times, like, how do I describe this? Have you ever seen the kill live image? Okay, I'm going to have to explain this because I'm talking like...
That's going over my head.
Okay, so let me explain where I'm going with this. So, there are two pictures that are side by side next to each other. It is an evil-looking man holding a can of Monster with the text "kill" over it. And then it is the same man, much happier, little more smiley, holding a bottle of water that says "live."
I believe the variation of that I've seen is the sad man looking at the wall on a bus versus a smiling man looking out the other side of the bus where the sun is shining.
I think that is a similar energy I'm going. So whichever one illustrates where my point I'm going with will help leader. So sometimes I look at the state of the modern anime industry, and let's say I get a little bit, let's say sad. I'm going to look at the coming spring 2026 season, and I'm just going to pull up a title. A title, let's just say, is called something like "The Strongest Job is an Appraisal, not a Hero or a Sage, but an Appraiser," open and close brackets, provisional, exclamation point.
Oh, if I could have told our past selves that that's what anime titles would become.
Or I became a legend after my 10-year-long last stand. Or observation records of my fiance, the misadventures of a self-proclaimed villainess. And I see those things, and I look at those titles, and I look at the fact that it's just like the 12th iteration of that level of like fantasy isekai light novel slop. And I just get depressed. I get sad, depressed, and I look at like how cheap, cynical, and like lame it is. How it feels like it came out like a burger that was barely even cooked well at McDonald's. And I get sad. I'm like, is that just what we are? Is that just what we're going to accept and be given forever? And I look like the kill guy with the monster.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
City, the animation as a piece of art, animation, creativity. Frankly, even in like a post-generative AI era, City the Animation is the type of anime project that makes me feel happy to be alive. To see a genuine creative force and spirit that makes me glad I love anime and makes me happy I watch anime to appreciate it for what it is. It feels like a shining light in an era where I can easily lose myself to cynicism and nihilism about the state of anime, animation, and the entertainment industry. It's the type of project that makes me happy to be alive. That I can witness it with my own two eyes.
And thank you for bringing us along for the ride.
100%. Sorry, I had to get that out of the way. I'm sorry. I probably killed the mood there.
No, it was a good appraisal. Like, I think we should transcribe that whole block and put that on the inevitable Blu-ray cover coming up. Or at the very least, we should do like a Criterion style release where there's there's a pamphlet with an essay and stuff in it. It's like just Andrew Lipseltzer's waxing poetically about the death of the anime industry and how it was saved by City the Animation.
Motherfucker really pulled out my government name for the Criterion quote, didn't you? Damn!
Work a little harder. We could put a doctor in there, too. I think they have people with doctorates who do those essays sometimes.
Damn, okay. Anyways, I appreciate that. Motherfucker really pulled the government out. Thanks. All right.
Yeah, this is absolutely the purpose for it.
100%. All right. Ahmad, I know you're a big fan of this manga and this man's work. How happy are you I finally made you watch this?
All their anime comedy can just go home now. He had a good run.
What, we're going to get rid of Gintama?
I am sure that I will adore Gintama whenever I get around to watching it.
Oh,
whenever that is.
Amon, don't write checks with your mouth that your time management can't cash.
I give all the emphasis on whenever to indicate that they may include never.
Retirement home's gonna be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, when we all have nothing better to do, we're all just gonna do the episode a day thing in the retirement home and be like, how many episodes of Gintama are there? Cool. Let's see who gives out first.
I look forward to that. See you back here in 50 years.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's the spirit.
No, this is fantastic. Like, City is great. When I was still keeping up with the manga, I thought it would be great if they didn't animate this. I didn't have high expectations because I know Nichijou, while very beloved, did not set the world on fire commercially, as far as I could tell.
I would say the odds of this going back to Kyoto Animation were maybe a 1 in a million.
Yeah, and it's impressive this exists, that it was made with this team, that it looks like it does, and that all of it works so well. Just a bunch of people who all were just sharing a vision of how they wanted this to turn out and being able to make it work. It makes you happy to be alive.
Like, it truly feels like the author and the anime see each other as equals in a way I kind of don't think we'll ever see again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really think that it was a surprise that this project went to KyoAni because in just looking at the modern anime scape, unless it's like Science Saru, I couldn't really see any other studio tackling this kind of a project.
I feel even like there's a lot of ambitious projects out there too in the anime. This is not to say there are
Sure.
bad anime today. There are still very good anime, but I will also say the good anime are not that are being made that look like this are typically the action mainstream stuff. It's not the weird hyper specific comedies
Mm-hmm.
with this level of finesse and craft.
Or a 7-minute sequence that is just like 10 frames moving independently of each other.
Christ. It
Yeah.
is like this project is a miracle. I am glad I am alive to see it. And I will say I had a real fun time with this dub too. The fucking kudos to the cast. And crew especially for first anime projects for a few people. Hell of an introduction. Welcome to Dub Talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if I could put my own final thoughts out there, that's why I wanted to circle too, because these guys captured the spirit of the animation side of this. I want to give a lot of props to the dub actors here because this dub is absolutely on par with the Japanese. Like, you are not going to lose anything in the change of translations. In fact, you will probably gain more because you will not be reading rapidly running subtitles contrasted with high quality animation that you will not want to take your eyes off of. None of the actors stand out as like particularly over the top or um, cartoonish in a way that's distracting. All of them are reasonably close to the kind of goofy characters they are supposed to be in a way that makes the comedy feel grounded. And that really is a strong part of it. If Chris or Brooke or Brianna or the writers, Marin and Rachel, did not get the dynamic about what makes this show work on paper, then the whole direction portion of it or the actors' performances would not have landed. The fact that they maintained that from episode 1 to episode 13, well, I should say 13 and a half because of, we didn't really talk about the lack of dubbing the very, very last portion of the episode, did we?
It is a very bizarre moment, but it's like it feels like it should be like a more negative thing. But by that point, I'm kind of just amazed. I'm watching what is a team that just decided, fuck it, let's end on a musical number. Fuck you. Who's gonna stop us?
It is great. It gave me very strong. You guys ever seen the Ghibli film My Neighbors the Yamadas?
I have
Not
not.
yet.
You haven't? Oh, I'm putting that on Recommend or Die next time. I won't spoil the movie, but I will say that it ends with a very similarly animated sequence of just like the most surreal animation you've ever seen, while the characters are singing a Japanese version of Que Sera Sera from that one movie
boy.
that I cannot remember the title to.
The man who knew too much.
Yes, thank you. I had to look it up because I didn't realize it was actually a cover until I looked that up. But that ending is a great way to end it, and they actually do dub it in the English version. Why they didn't for this particular show, I'm sure there were reasons for it. I guess we can speculate on. And I think Andrew's right that it doesn't really distract or detract from the overall quality of the show itself. It's just a weird quirk that you will hear Japanese at the very end of the show.
I will say I did poke around, and it does seem that not dubbing the song was pretty consistent across all the languages. It really just boiled down to, did they bother to dub the few bits of spoken dialogue that show up?
Gotcha.
And that seemed to be inconsistent across languages. It seemed like some did and some did not. So
Right. I mean,
anyways,
whatever the reason is, whether they decide to like go back and actually dub the scene later or those bits of spoken dialogue into English, does not matter. What the dub we have here is, again, very high quality and gave me a gateway into a lot of different performers who I'd not heard before, because Genshin Impact is not in Smash Bros, so I do not know what that is.
oh,
My kids know who Joker from Persona 5 is, only because it is in Smash Bros.
God damn it.
Oh, there you go.
All right. I think we have said all that needs to be said. Thank you all for joining me on this very, very fun, lovely episode of the Dub Talk podcast. My name is Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me over on the Blue Skies at classyspartan.bluesky.social. And I realize I'm skipping, actually. I should be doing We Are the Dub Talk podcast.
Where they can watch this episode? Because some people may not know where you can watch this show, even though you mentioned it in the first 5 minutes.
Okay, so let's be real. I could be telling you. If you would like to, you can watch this on Amazon Prime Video.
There you go.
I'm also going to say it is 2026. You know what you're doing. You know how you feel about the state of affairs. The people that you wanted to get... The people that have gotten paid have already gotten paid. You do you, man. You do you.
We live in a non-residual world, unfortunately.
Look, we are in 2026. I'm not really going to sit here and say, you have to support the official release, and the official release is quite literally giving you advertisements for the fucking Melania Trump movie that exists because Bezos wanted to bribe the cabinets. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, if you don't want to support that shit, fucking who cares, man? Fucking cares.
That's another thing that's changed over the 10 years we've been doing this.
It went from being like, you have to support the official release to support the people that are working hard. And now it's like, man, fucking whatever, man. Whatever. You do what you gotta do.
Yes, do what you gotta do. Like, we endorse the idea that if you can have your money guaranteed to go towards the creation of more things that you enjoy, absolutely do that. That's why you should, like, make donations to charities or, like, support your local NPR station when they have a charity drive or something like that. But there's more nuances to that, and yeah, we're not going to hold that against you. We're not your dad.
What I'm going to say is,
we don't know what you get to do in your spare time.
Yes.
City the Animation deserves to be seen and observed. I don't think I care how you do it. For many reasons, many of which involve Jeffrey Bezos and the everything around that. I didn't even mention the banana fish fiasco. That's not worth going into because it sucks.
That's another episode. That'll be a Patreon exclusive.
The Patreon... Okay. No, it won't. No, it won't. Fuck you. It's gone. It's dead. And it deserves to stay dead. Anyways, we are the Dub Talk Podcast. If you would like, you can find us over on our YouTube channel. You can also listen to audio-only episodes of our podcast at Podbean, at Spotify, and at Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so for a one-time Ko-fi donation, or if you would like to be a more regular supporter of the podcast, you can go over to our Patreon and support us. If you are $5 or $10 tier, you can also get your name written out aloud on the end of an episode. That includes the lovely people like JR Pictures, Quinoa Soup, Marissa Lenti, Megan's Mom and Dad, Michelle Travis, Anthony Brown, Carly Lesticow, James, Julia W., and Pika Greg. But yes, it's you beautiful people that help support us and also tell us to do episodes every couple of months. So, legit, thanks for sticking around and listening to the show where we have critical thoughts and also shitpost thoughts at the same time. My name is Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me over on the Blue Sky at classyspartan.bluesky.social. At this point, the Twitter is there, but that is a sinking ship, and we all know it. You can also find me on Surreal Resolutions Podcast O&A, where I talk about the latest in anime news alongside fellow Dub Talk co-hosts Jet. Noah, where can the people find you?
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Noah Clue, where discussions of animation from all around the world and images of my family are always there, because when you have a family of 3 kids, wonderful wife, and a cute dog, that is where you post stuff like that. I do have a YouTube channel that I have not updated in quite a while, but who knows? Maybe by the time you get to watch around this episode, I will have actually done something with it. Stranger things have happened. And also, I just want to end off by saying, Andrew said that he was surprised that we were here doing this episode. I was surprised that it took us this long to get around to it. Cause like as soon as City the Animation dropped, I was waiting for the call from Andrew to say, "We're doing a Dub Talk episode. You can't stop me."
I just had to lie and wait for the right time. Anyways, W Awards are probably going to be coming soon. That's kind of sort of why. All according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan. Amon, the floor is yours.
If you can find me on Blue Sky at Amon Duel US. Duel has 2 U's in it. I talk about movies and comic books and bullshit. Before I get to my dusty old song, Andrew reminded me of something during his lovely little discussion about what City is like. If you find something appealing about a story about a bunch of directionless 20-somethings living in a city and maybe want a different flavor of it, I want you to go up to your browser search bar there, and I want you to punch in Octopus Pie. And I want you to go to the Octopus Pie website and enjoy a decade of extremely quality webcomics. You will thank yourself. Do it.
2007 to 2017. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Is that the one that Striker's been posting in the comics channel on our Discord?
No, that's dumbing of age. That's also a thing that meant a lot to teenage me. That I'll go at great length about if you let me.
Off recording.
Off recording. No. Now we have to talk about music, and this is going to be an interesting one for the dusty old song. I could just give you Mambo number 5, but one.
That's not.
If it's the Lou Bega version, I don't need to tell you about that. Everyone knows what that song is. If it's the Paris Prada song that's named after / sampling, I don't actually know that one as well, but we're not going to talk about that one either, even though that's a good song and probably more respectable than the Lou Bega version. No. We're talking about something, this is a unique one. Do you guys know who did the music for this?
Like the background music or the opening?
Yeah. No, the background music.
I don't, actually.
Alright, this is a group called Piran Hands. They are a quartet. They are a drum, bass, guitar, and pianica quartet, which as far as I can tell is just the word that Yamaha made up so they could have a trademark name for their melodicas.
Okay, yeah, the pianica sounds very... Isn't that the bluey instrument?
I don't know. A melodica is a basic reed instrument.
Go ahead.
It's a basic reed instrument where you blow into it, and instead of having like valves or anything, you have a keyboard. It's very simple.
Andrew, you saw Your Lie in April, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's that instrument at the beginning, in the very first episode, where she's playing the theme song from Laputa.
Yes, that is, yes,
That's
I'm
a melodica.
familiar. Anyways, sorry. Ahmad, please continue.
So the reason this is important is that this is not the band that did the music for Nichijou. That's some actual composer who's done on like famous things in addition to working on Nichijou. And I think that is a shame, because the main thing that watching this has convinced me is that if you are making a ROI anime, the melodica is how it should sound. Because the melodica, it's a basic instrument. It is often a children's instrument. I think in places like Japan, that instead of giving kids in music class a recorder, you give them a melodica, because it's the same principle. It's not very hard to play. You just blow, you press keys. It's extremely straightforward, and that does belay the fact that it can be a legit instrument of interesting sophistication. Originally, I was actually going to suggest the other person who's famous for playing the melodica, which is a... Where's my note here?
It's Jack
is
Black,
a
right?
You're funny.
Sorry.
No, it's a Jamaican artist named Augustus Pablo, who he does a form of reggae called dub music, which, funny, yes, I know, which essentially is you take reggae tracks, you strip out the vocals, you put some other instrumental line on top, and you add a lot of echo. It sounds very interesting, but doesn't sound anything like the music in here, so you should check out his album King Tubby's meets Rockers Uptown anyways, but if you like the sound of this, you should not. You should instead just check out the actual albums by Piranhas, which sound like this. And I'm going to preface this with, I could not find a lot of information about this band, but I will say that as far as I can tell, they appear to have gone on hiatus in around like 2011, and may have reformed strictly to do the soundtrack for this show.
Really?
Yo,
Because
what?
their official website, the oldest thing I could find prior to this was some stuff in 2011 about doing some like benefit stuff for the earthquake that happened in Japan around then. And then 14 years later, we're doing the soundtrack to City the Animation.
You know what else came out in 2011?
What?
The original Nichijou
Nichijou.
anime.
Oh, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
I'm not 100% sure. It could have just been that they weren't an active recording act and they were doing various live shows or whatever. But I did not find a lot of information about why they specifically got picked to do this. But I can only assume someone was a fan, and they were asked directly.
Also, I would just like the record to go that the album cover of the soundtrack for Nichijou is just all three of the main girls playing a different size melodica.
It's a very funny image. Their most recent album prior to this was called Super Volcano. I listened to a little bit of it. It's pretty good. You should check it out.
That does sound pretty good.
I'm done.
No, that's great.
God.
I was enjoying the whirlwind we were going on there. We mixed in stripped down reggae music, a band who went on hiatus, the melodica history. I loved it.
It's great.
I look forward to another.
I'm
blog
a fountain
entry
of all
just
sorts of
little
useless
song.
information.
It is. We need to get this guy on his own solo podcast.
Oh no.
Nah, we just need to watch a skeleton blow in a melodica as just like it kind of sounds like a dusty bag, and it's just like, that's funny.
Did you just call Amon a D-bag?
No, I meant like literally the fact that he is a
Andrew,
skeleton.
Get to your room.
And they
Get off the mic. Get to your room. You go think about your life choices.
fucking hate it here. All right, fine. This has been a nice podcast, everybody. Otaku on, everybody. You'll have a good one. I'm being punished for some reason. I hope this is going to go well when your child becomes a teenager in a year.
Oh, he's already into murder drones and gorillas and, all that edgy teenager stuff. It's going great.
Oh, Christ. Anyways, this has been a fun one. We're going to deal with being broke 30-somethings that are doing the best we can in a world that is cruel but also still beautiful and worth living in. Good night, everybody.
I'm getting my tax refund soon. This has been a great episode. I love talking to you guys. Thank you all for listening. Aloha.
Rock over Boston, rock on Chicago.
And go Seahawks.